Hello, and this is Spotlight, recorded live here on GRAPPL Patreon. I'm Benno.
And I'm Matty.
And happy all-out Palooza week, Palooza all-out week. I'm not sure which it is. We're doing something special this week. Got Matty on Spotlight tonight. Gonna have Gareth on the live tomorrow, and then big fans of JP. Don't worry, we'll have JP back for the weekend show on Thursday as well. 3 days of shows, mate, to build up the gigantic weekend that is this one we can officially call the biggest weekend in wrestling in 2025. Like, is it there yet? Have we managed to do it?
Just for the simple fact that obviously both big companies, Ben, are having big shows. Yeah, I'd say this is probably, you're worthy to say it this weekend, mate. Definitely, 100%.
Well, this was a Kyle Fletcher main event.
This is it. Oh, and also, how perfect as it fell, as you say, with me, Gareth and JP on in 3 consecutive nights with you.
Yeah.
Perfect storm, mate, it is.
Got to build it up. Got to do it proper. And I think we're going to do 2 different shows, aren't we, for Spotlight? That's the current working plan to review it both, and we'll try and get it filled in. If you do notice my voice, I am suffering from the Thai today as well. So let's hope I make it to the weekend. But I'm full of all kinds of vitamin shots from 7-Eleven. They don't just sell toasties and see through Pepsi Coke that I've got here. What's it called? Pepsi Clear. Fantastic.
That still baffles me, but
mind blowing, mate, when it's not the colour it's supposed to be in your brain. But I'm hopefully going to be feeling good through this one. And like I say, you've subbed in for JP tonight, mate. And yeah, but we're fresh off Dealer's Choice as well. All going off this month. Got my big reveal coming this weekend. Just did Gareth's show at the weekend as well. I had a fucking great time. I loved it. Loved it. And Ric Flair from the 80s in my wheelhouse, mate. Actually, to be honest, that's one of the shows where I feel like me and you agreed the most. We've maybe ever agreed. On the slide there, and I feel a bit dirty because of it.
Same here, mate. I mean, I've had to think about my thoughts for the last 48 hours since we recorded that, but it is. I mean, it's always the best month, as I say, Dealer's Choice, and you know, with my eased our way in with my choice, I will say so myself, and then obviously Gareth, as you say, Ben, making us eat our vegetables, our salad, our fucking just everything all at once there, mate. Yeah, everything all at once there. And as you say, it was a good conversation. And Gareth, you know, more to the point, absolutely loved it, didn't he? You know, and he broke it down as only he can. And you know, it was a good show, good talking points. And yet, me and you didn't really fully converge, did we, on old Ric Flair himself, Ben?
We did that. I think for us, like, not to give the show away, because it was a great show. Gareth did a great job putting the matches together. I think we're into it's the territory TV and stuff like that, isn't it? Like going back to seeing old Memphis and stuff.
That was great.
That, old Mid-South and all that. And Ric Flair just happens to be there in his suit and his Barbara Windsor there, and we get past it, don't we? But the matches, that's Gareth's bread and butter. And he pulled out a couple that were I would call Jamesy classics that he very much raved about, and other ones that we maybe pulled him in our direction on 1 or 2 by the end as well. But yeah, it was a cracking chat, and obviously if JP was here as well, he would be telling us that he did do his reveal as well for his upcoming show, which will be a film club on The Wrestler. The patrons are already in the Discord trying to get him to make it a double and add in the original version of The Wrestler, or add in Mickey Rourke versus Chris Jericho, the unofficial match from the WrestleMania that year. Or like we said, we could do some old Mickey Rourke classics. We could review this year's edition of Big Brother, and we could find a way to ruin it for JP. But he's tried to be a professional this time and played it safe, but not a bad choice, that one.
I mean, he's got a lot of back catalogue from 9.5 weeks spent to Angel Heart, which is a classic that me and Gareth want to revisit. And obviously the Expendables one he turns up in as well, the tattoo artist in that for the lad. So he's got the back catalogue, but this is one that screams JP, and he's wanted to do it for a while, hasn't he? It's been on the dock for a while, on his mind for a while. So it's a solid choice from JP, if I must say so myself. And I've only seen it once, Ben. Don't know about yourself. I've only seen the movie once, so it's
maybe twice. Maybe twice. Okay. Obviously, it was the second time since it came out. It was big, at the time. Obviously, they filmed a lot of it ROH, didn't they, with Necro Butcher being there and stuff like that. Maybe they could talk JP into adding a Necro Butcher bonus match or something from the.
I mean, come on, Ben. We want Ernest Miller bonus matches if we're getting.
Oh yeah, of course. Isn't it?
Commissioner
it's funny, isn't it? We said it because we always said we'd do the Wrestler as a film club, and then we always get sidetracked. It's like, what about this hilarious one where Hulk Hogan's in the IRA? Or about, it's like, what about this one where like Brutus the Barber Beefcake plays like an army man or something? We just find a reason not to do it. So I respect that JP is the former media studies teacher. He is going to kind of make us eat our greens, but it feels like a big old steak, this one. So looking forward to it. We're going to try again with the fucking wild week that's coming up. We're trying to do that on Saturday, aren't we? Because we've also got the Merseyside derby on air on Saturday morning, and then obviously the match. I'm sure you'll be in front of the telly at 8 p.m. for All Out taking place as well. So we've got to fit it somewhere in the middle of those, but I think we're saying like an 3:30-ish plan. I think that's the idea.
3 pre-show, and as you say, but I need something to keep me awake before the real main event, don't I? WrestlePalooza, Ben. So I'll have All Out on in the background.
Stay up all night, yeah.
I'll be there. I've been work though. I've been work at 1 p.m. on Sunday, so I'll have to see how I go. But the big question is, though, Ben, have you narrowed your dealer's choice down? Have you committed? Have you circled it? What's going on? Have you actually decided
to get over? I really have. Like, your one, I can't say how, but ruined 2 of my suggestions.
Well, I'm dying to know how when you do reveal. I want another backstory to that.
Or maybe there are linking and maybe there are reasons to do it, but they've put me off doing it. Because I don't want to do a dealer's choice as well. For me, it's like, because it's basically me and you that do the calendar, isn't it? I think you've got more power than I do these days when it comes to the shows. But I know you're thinking it's the same way. It's like, there's so many shows. I could just sneak into the calendar next month. If I fancy doing a mixtape on Jimmy Rave, I'll just add it into October schedule. It'll be fine. So I've got to think of something where it feels like I'm forcing you into it, or something that I wouldn't otherwise put in the calendar as well. So I've got a couple of ideas there. Some you might have heard me mention before, but no, genuinely not narrowed down. I say this every time as well. Like you, the listeners, probably know us better than we know ourselves. If there's something you're thinking, oh, you know what Benno's dealer's choice should be to put the lads through the paces. It should be this, and maybe it's something I'm not thinking of. Let me know. Or if you got any for Matty, let him know for next time's dealer's choice as well. I'm always up for some punishment, so I'll think of something before the weekend. I was going to throw in as well, Matty, before we get into this week's topics. We're going to go into as well. Just for you, mate. I thought throw in the plugs. Obviously, you've got a big fundraiser going at the minute. I saw you were saying it's closing in 2 weeks. Thought it was worth mentioning on here for a good old cause as well. Way more important than all that Patreon stuff, mate. You've been getting your steps in this month. I have, mate.
Well, it's been since July the 1st, really, man. It's a million step challenge. Which
has been that long? Wow.
You get 3 months to do it. Which obviously, when someone first says that, you go, "Oh, wait there a minute." And yeah, it literally is. You've got to get it. I averaged it out. You've got to hit like 10,800 steps a day. Is the average, but it's not about the one, as I say, doing 10,800. It's one of them, Ben. It's literally, you've got to do it every day for 3 months if you're being consistent. And it does play with your mind at first. Like, if you have that lazy hangover day, like, you've got to force yourself to get out and go and do steps around the block. It's made me, to be fair, Ben, obviously for a good cause, for diabetes, of course. Anyone knows me.
Of course.
You know, me mum, you know, I struggled with it all her life, and it caught up with it in the end of her life. And myself was diagnosed. Now I'm off my medication, so I'm kind of in a good place with it. And it's a mentally taxing disease, shall we say, as well. But it's one of them, Ben. It's just helped me mentally as well. Just get out, as you say, getting out, playing football again, walking again. It's crossed every boundary and good thing for me, mate. So yeah, if anyone, I'll say everyone who's donated has been, thank you so much. Like, me target there, £40 off. Me and my wife have got it add to it ourselves, which I'm sure it'll cross. But any other, donation, thanks to everyone who has donated and anyone who will donate. Honestly, it means so much, and it's helped me out. But mainly, as I said there, it is for a great cause. So thank you very much. So thanks, Ben, for putting the plug on here, mate. Yeah, thank you very much.
I was just looking at the numbers. I saw you tweeted it out, and I was like, bloody hell, 800,760 steps, is it? That's 876,000. Sorry, I've got a cold brain right now. 1 million is the target. I reckon you're gonna hit it. 500 is the target raise. So like you say, you're 40 off of 460. I'll slip you a physical tenner at some point. Has anyone been giving you physical money, mate? This is the problem. Your reputation procedure. So
yeah, it does.
Didn't you say you were out on a night out at the weekend? You withdrew £200 from a cash machine. Can we just get it out the way now? The allegations are not true. That was not part of this.
To be fair, right,
prior fund.
My reputation definitely does precede me, so I never take any offence.
And it's in.
Exactly. Yeah, because that comes my way, I will never take offence to it. But I literally don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know how that gets donated. I can't access that money. That obviously is got.
There we go. That's the way it should be.
But I will tell that story quick, just for the listeners.
So no physical. That's the rule.
No physical. But yeah, a couple of Fridays ago, like literally had a few pints on Lark Lane. Wasn't even hammered, Ben. Wasn't even pissed. Walked home, and I just withdrew £200 from the cash point. Why? I still don't know. I genuinely don't know why. And
if you want to show me, I'll show that fucking Benno. Physical cash is still a thing.
And it's one of them. I went for something to eat in Planet Pizza, local, obviously, and they don't even they take cash. So it must have been that subconsciously in my mind.
What were you planning on buying, mate? How many pizzas?
Exactly. Yeah, I need a tenner.
Yeah, it's cheap there.
It got spent. I used the rest of it on the weekend, just gone. So it's finally gone. Like, but yeah, I don't think I've never done that. As I say, even paralytic out my mind on AEW. I've never done that. So yeah, it's all good.
I wonder what the theory is. I wonder what drunk Matty was planning on. Were you planning on booking another hotel for you and Liam and Gareth?
Maybe, yeah.
Or something like that. I keep saying to you, it's like I'm having to get used to that, obviously, being out in Thailand. I recorded with Hamfoot last night, so I was talking about going to visit him. And like the only thing I don't use cash for here is taxis, because I don't trust the taxi drivers here. It's like any country. It's, the grab mafia is a genuine thing here. I actually got it, it's Grab over here, not Uber, when I was going to Koh Samui to visit my mum and her husband, Paul, and literally had 3 different Uber drivers / Grab drivers cancel on me. And then the third one was like, can I meet you half a mile from the airport? The taxi mafia might come after me. It's genuinely a thing. Like, apparently this lovely paradise island of Koh Samui, like there was... Grab tried to take over, like Uber took over in Liverpool and all those other cities, and the actual taxi drivers just like took to the fists and beat up all the taxi drivers and got them thrown off the island, basically. So all you can do is get a taxi or get a sneaky Uber / Grab with like the driver turning up and like you almost I thought he was going to make me sit in the front of the cab, so it looked like I was his mate.
Looks like you're picking up family members or something. Yeah.
Long way to say though, mate. Yeah, I walked half a mile from the airport so that I didn't have to pay cash in a cab, and it was worth it, even with all my luggage. I got there, but yeah, I'm slightly turning into a cash person, mate.
I was going to say,
it's valuable.
It's on the comeback.
Gotta be done.
It definitely was on the way out, like for sure. But
it's all notes here as well. It's not really coins. It's mostly notes. So like that's a big one. There's shitty pennies and 2 pences. And remember, I was listening to the TiVo football podcast today. They were talking about how like the old pound coins are still in circulation, but they're not supposed to be. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that had happened. Apparently, 12 years ago, they got rid of the old pound coins. That's how long it's been since I got physical cash. But if you've got any lying around the house, send them to Matty. You could use.
Of course. I mean, I've never been one, as you know me, Ben. Like everyone says, oh yeah, I've only got coins, or money's money, Ben. Cash is cash, mate. Send it all in. I don't care what it is. Bronze, silver, gold. Send it in, mate. I'll take it.
Cash is king.
Cash is king, and it always will be. Physical in life for everything is my motto, and I'm sticking to it.
We'll see if they can turn me around out here, but yeah, it's easier doing that, to be fair, than trying to get a Thai bank account. So maybe I'll come round to your way of thinking. But if you do have a spare tenner knocking around, or a spare pound coin, or you fancy donating, just give the people the link again, Matty. I'll throw it in the.
I will. I'll throw it in here as well. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you. It's
step.diabetes.org.uk. I literally searched on Google for Matthew Edwards diabetes, and it came up. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but there you go. Put that into your Google machine, it'll come up.
I will. I'll send the link over, and I say if you can put it in this show description, I'll put it on the Discord again. I'll probably hammer it home the last 2 weeks as well. Sorry if I do anyone's head in with that, but I will feel like I've accomplished something though, Ben, in all seriousness. So thanks again to everybody.
And you should.
And yourself. Thank you very much.
Should be very proud, mate. You're doing brilliantly there. And yeah, as Andy said there, some of the better things in life can only be bought with cash. And yeah, as Liam often says, isn't it? It's the best barbers, the best pubs. It's all still a cash.
Scrangaps, always the best.
And Matthew Edwards, they're the 4 pillars of a cash society. But on that note, we should move on to what we've got to talk about this week. And like I say, we have some AEW topics that I'm desperate to get into. And obviously, it is a big old week when it comes to All Out. It is All Out week, mate. We're not having it being railroaded by this WrestlePalooza, if it really is.
We'll expect it in the way, Ben, with you, to be fair. So we're good.
Well, you're on the show, so we will end up talking a fair amount about WrestlePalooza, as well as All Out. But obviously, we'll have Gareth on tomorrow as well. But we couldn't have you on, mate, without talking, obviously, about the big story that's going around. And me and JP on Weekend Show did allude to it on Friday, because it did feel like it was very much in the ether and was going to be happening. And that is obviously maybe where all that cash is going. A joke too far, mate. Fancy a flight to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in 2027, as WrestleMania 43 has been confirmed to be taking place from there. I did have the stream up. I was watching it live as they announced it, and literally just spoiled it, because in the background behind Joe Tessitore was a big WrestleMania 43 Riyadh season logo, wasn't there? But we obviously all knew knew before that point that it was going to be announced. And yeah, all jokes aside, obviously horrendous story as we talked about, and obviously the boatload of money that has been parked at WWE HQ and TKO HQ is the reason behind this. Obviously, you see the picture there from our friends over at postwrestling.com with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels stood in the background amongst a couple of members of the current roster, Bianca Belair among them, who said a few words as well. And obviously, this is Turki Al-Sheikhi, is that how you pronounce his name? The bloke who was in the front row of the boxing at the weekend, sat next to Dana White, was the one that made the announcement as well. And yeah, I don't know if you were maybe hoping that the big announcement was going to be something else, anything else, or as me and JP talked about on Weekend Show, hoping that maybe there could be a 2-day WrestleMania on the cards, maybe one night in Saudi Arabia and then one night somewhere like US bound or something like that. I was speculating they would announce it in Vegas because that might well be the case, but it doesn't look like that way at the minute, mate. And it looks like as the chance went off at Worlds Collide, WrestleMania has very much been bought and sold to the Saudis, and you can't really call it anything other than inevitable at this point.
That was the word, like you just took it out of my mouth, Ben. It was inevitable. From when the Royal Rumble next year got announced, and I thought, to be honest, like they see how that went, and and then maybe announce it after the Royal Rumble, but they went early, haven't they? And I've announced it here, and it is. Like, I'm just glad from a personal point of view, Ben. Like maybe wasn't the greatest WrestleMania in the world this year, and next year hopefully that I've actually gone to a couple, because obviously I wouldn't be going to Saudi Arabia. They're obviously too far and stuff like that to go there, and but even
it's not far from me, mate, but I wouldn't get in or out, so I'm fucking not going. Fuck that.
it's even like Triple H, Ben. Like he just looked like he was miserable announcing it, didn't he? Like there was it was just like forced upon him. There was no like, because even like when he done that Crown Jewel, remember last year when the fans were chanting for it, and he kind of dismissed the fans there. I remember saying at the time that was a bit of a bold shout by Triple H. But money does talk, Ben. Ultimately, at the end of the day, and Turkey, like he's run sport though. When he's the boxing, all the big fights are there. He's obviously UFC's gone over there. WWE now, obviously. I think I even seen a video of him and Tom Brady the other day. Like I didn't look into it too much, but Tom Brady's announced. Maybe I know he's coming out of retirement or what he's doing. He's just taken over all the big sports stars in the world. So it's just unfortunately, it's just the way it is, Ben. Fortunately or unfortunately, how you look at it. It's just the way it is,
as well.
It is. It's
profit as well. Like, and that's the thing. It's like, I mean, that's by design, though, isn't it? Like the sports washing. Like the idea is that eventually we all just kind of go, oh well, it's just normal, isn't it? And that is true, but at the same time, it is fucking horrendous. Like and that's the thing when Triple H is talking about all this. Like he's never going to mention it, is he? That what do they get? 50 million per PLA usually. They're getting more than 100 for this, plus all the other like side deals there. Money that they're not getting in site fees from any other place, and money that isn't coming. This isn't going to be a show where they're going to be going, oh, we did this amazing gate, because there won't be an amazing gate, because the money doesn't come from the gate. The money doesn't come from any of the traditional, usual wrestling ways. The money literally comes from the hands of the Saudis who want this show for a propaganda tool, and WWE are giving it to them. Like there's no other story there. There's no way you can spin it, which is maybe what you're noticing there in that Triple H isn't even trying as hard as he usually would to spin it. It's just kind of, it is what it is, and I hope the world accepts it, and we all just move on. And I think we were probably all being too hopeful that we were gonna, like with the greatest Royal Rumble, like we were gonna get, okay, this will be super WrestleMania, but there'll be a real WrestleMania. Like that's obviously the big travesty is of course the real life story of it, and the Saudis continuing to do this, but there's also a travesty from a wrestling fan point of view that there just is no WrestleMania that year, really, for me. Like WrestleMania weekend, let's say, doesn't exist that year.
It doesn't, no.
As I will give Hamlet the credit, our good friend. I think he's the one who's been who's the first one to say, "Come on, Tony Khan, pull your finger out and run your own WrestleMania weekend." And
he's got to. He's got to for me.
I don't know. I feel like for me, like it wouldn't be the grown. Really, what Tony Khan should do is concentrate on his own wrestling company and concentrate on his own world and not pay attention to any of this and not react to it. But it will be much more entertaining and much more interesting if he does react to it. So I'm still going to cheerlead it and hope he does it. But it could happen, I suppose. Like, I don't know if this was Hamlet's theory, but an MSG, like you could do that, couldn't you? Obviously, with WWE not running there anymore. I don't believe, and that was the point I was about to make. Like, it's obviously WWE don't give a shit, but it's your collectives, it's your WrestleCons. If you don't give a fuck about GCW, it's the old wrestlers, isn't it? That you met all last year.
Yeah. The best part, then.
It's their biggest payday of the year, isn't it? It's their biggest weekend of the career. It's taken all of that away as well, isn't it? And I guess, to your point, yeah, Tony Khan could swoop in and
Ben,
babyface themselves. But maybe we'll have to wait, because we don't have a date yet, do we? Maybe we should wait for... Maybe he needs to book MSG that entire month.
The whole month.
It could be a thing. I don't know. You sound like you're more up for it than I am, which is...
I mean, I know what you're saying there about, like, you know, leave it to WWE to start countering AEW and don't rise to it, etc. But for me, you're not rising to nothing, Ben. It's an open space. It's an open goal to do it and keep it going and face yourself more. But it's easy to do for me. It's so simple, and it'll be a big success. And it'll keep it all ticking over. And honestly, it'll be fucking one of the best ideas. And that's me saying that. That's genuinely me saying that as well.
That will be the true biggest weekend of the year. We'll agree on that one.
You'll absolutely fucking, adore it all. But no, just going back to the actual WrestleMania for a second there. And like I said before, Ben, like, I'm definitely going, like, next year, like, even more so now, because it'll be...
The party, you think it might be that? Because literally they jumped the queue, didn't they? Because it was supposed to be WrestleMania 2028 and they got 2027.
Yeah.
The party, you think, fuck, I've booked these flights, and they might take... might be another change.
But obviously on a smaller degree, it kind of went like that when they block booked Vegas for 2 years, Ben. It was kind of like, it's the same. It kind of took away a WrestleMania a bit, even for me, in Vegas, even though it's made for it. You just wanted a different city the year after, of course.
I wonder if that's what happened, you know? I wonder if, like, that was, like, there was a point where they were thinking of making that 2027, and because the Saudis got 2027, they gave them 2026. It was New Orleans.
New Orleans was practically... The Rock announced it,
which, again, could be a good place for Tony Khan to run. Get The Rock in, get Dwayne in, you know? You can pay him as much as the Saudis.
But I've got a double... I don't know how it's going to go next year, because part of me's thinking to myself, well, if Triple H really, deep down, doesn't like the idea of it being it, he wants to give this WrestleMania coming up the one last big one before it goes to Saudi. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking...
Probably giving him too much credit there.
No, but but then on the other side, I'm thinking, well, no, they're probably going to save everything for that. And it's just going to be kind of another kind of a throwaway WrestleMania again, kind of. And I'm like, it's going to be intriguing either way. And I'll obviously, in the building, it'll be good and etc. But it's like, it is a weird one. For me, it's so like, it could go either way. And I agree with you when I listen to you on a weekend show, Ben. Sorry for agreeing with you again. You're right, though. You've nailed it in the fact
that... We've been mates for like 12 years. Longer even. 2007 when I met you. 18 years. We're fine. Don't worry.
But you're right. It's like, all right, The Rock's the obvious one. Who's all these legends that can come back?
Why do people keep saying it? People keep saying it. I'm glad you agree.
Rock and Roman. Yeah, if you've done Rock and Roman night 1, Punk and Steve night 2, you've nailed it. Yeah. Who else is there? I don't want to see Undertaker no more. I don't want to see Shawn Michaels no more. Who else is there? As you said,
people keep saying it without thinking, don't they?
No.
Yeah.
It's like...
People keep going, nobody, like Meltzer keeps pushing it, doesn't he? Or everybody's going to be available, you know, they're all going to be getting in shape. Who is he thinking of? Like, is it like exactly what you're saying? Like Kurt Angle? Like, who are the legends?
These were finished in 2019. They were finished then when they were giving them the money to come out of retirement. Shawn Michaels.
5 years ago, maybe. Like now, I'd say Goldberg's just retired. Bret Hart. Like,
Cena coming back though. He'd be the one.
I guess, maybe Cena. Yeah.
He's going to go all again. He's probably thinking now, shit, I've announced this retirement. I could get 30 million for one match. I'd like to think he's a wrestler at the end of the day, so you know, take these words with a fucking pinch of salt. But I'd like to think Cena had a bit about him to stay retired after actually announcing it for a fucking full year and going through with it. I know, I'm giving him too much credit, but
because he isn't getting a WrestleMania this run, is he? Because he got one, but it was as a heel. He'll have a big.
And you can say it was shite, and he had to make up for it, and it's
not that it'll be any better than Saudi, like, but same thing. But I feel the same way, And again, I think people are. I'm not saying Stone Cold Steve Austin is a bastion of morality. He's not. He'll take the money like anybody else, and I think you're stupid if you put your heroes on those types of pedestals. Bret Hart to take that money if you could physically, get in the ring, I reckon, at this point. With Austin, no, it's not always that, is it? It's more it's the situation. It's is that right for me, brother? Like, we've seen him turn things down. Like last year's WrestleMania, we've seen him turn down multiple WrestleManias over the years until the Kevin Owens one was just exactly what he wanted rather
Texas
than be like a big money deal. Like, I don't think that happens. I really don't. I think Rock happens. Probably, but then again, is he going to be chasing Oscars? Is he going to be like a serious actor by that point? Is he actually going to want to do it? Is he going to tear a bicep before then? And if you take those two off the board, that's it.
There's no one else.
There's no one. Like, again, Cena maybe. That's it.
Because, like you say, there, Rock it can be fit in with the story. Steve as well, even though he's probably older or the same age as Undertaker and Michaels, he's not as all right, he's broken down, obviously, but he's had that one match, as you say, and Punk and him could protect them. What a spectacle.
And it wasn't a proper match, was it? So that
yeah,
would be
exactly.
the draw, yeah.
But the other, as you say, Undertaker, I keep sick of hearing it, and I'm biggest Undertaker fan there is. And Shawn Michaels,
look at him in the background with his grey hair.
He can't go, but it'll be terrible though if they all do take the money. It'll be shocking. It'll be one of the worst events you've ever seen in your life. I don't want to see it, and it kind of. I respected Triple H for the first 2 Manias he booked because it was current. He didn't have to rely on most people coming back. All right, Rock, but that fits into the bloodline, etc. So I accept that. It wasn't just a legend coming back for a one-off match. And then this year as well, kind of. All right, he went back. He had Cena. But fucking hell, if he starts going down that route and getting old, it'll be embarrassing. Yeah. It'll be embarrassing, mate.
He'll sit there with a grin on his face like he did at the boxing at the weekend. He's at a point in his life as well where I think he's just taking the money. And who knows how long his shelf life is. He might not be in the chair if Dwayne gets his way, you know.
But it's sad, Ben. This is like, sorry, mate, but this is where like it's all coming in. I haven't been on a show with you for it feels like forever in the spotlight, even though probably only about 2 or 3 weeks. But the way the world moves, Ben, it's very fast. But it's like it just goes into the conversation of like what I said after SummerSlam about the creative side of it. It's like he literally is now, and I'm not I've got to give him some sort. He's backed in of just taking this money and it being lazy and coasting on it, and it's sad because he did have. I listened to Hamlet and Sidge, and Hamlet again. I fucking love him, and he broke it down so well. Whether people like the Bloodline story or not, it was the intricacies and the detail that he was booking these Raws and Smack. Genuinely, though, Ben, he was. It was like that's all that mattered. I need to focus on this. That's completely gone. It's back lazy. It's back to open and promo, make a tag match. All that was effective.
I'll give that. Like, because, like, again, I obviously listened to the same stuff, and obviously we got pulled up on it. Like, and I think, you know, the people who pulled us up on it were right. You know, shout out to them. But like, we were like reflectively, you know, having a go at like the AJ and Punk angle, and it was like, you know, it took a couple of people to explain. Like, do you not notice like how effective that was? Like, that was the thing though. Like, they were pulling whether we liked the intricate, like I don't think the booking was as intricate as you're saying. I didn't rate the booking as much as you did. But what was the thing none of us could disagree in that 1 year where we all agreed that WWE's promotion of the year was just. It's the execution of it, isn't it? And it's like those we joke about the moments and stuff like that, but it was effective moments. It was effective.
They weren't just manufactured them to be a moment. Yes. They were in the cycle.
Over.
Yeah, in the cycle of you're having good creative where you're not booking the moment.
Paul Heyman was a great booker, wasn't he? I agree.
This is what I'm saying. Good shout. The actual booking and creativity led to these moments instead of let's just get to this moment with nothing. That's what it was. It was for someone like me, as you say, more than yourself. Mate, I was laughing everything up because it was great. It was, and honestly, it was so fucking good for me. And now it's so lazy and stale. It's honestly
Road Dogg booking them into oblivion, innit? Fucking Jacob Fatu can't get on SmackDown anymore. What's going on?
The only thing I'll say about that in defense, and it's not just because I love Jacob. He needed to get out of this.
I'm saying it because I love Jacob.
Yeah, he needs to get out of that solo verse for his own good, and that's even.
Oh my God.
No, he does. It's been done. There's nothing else you can do now, is there? So I get him.
It's over. The story's over.
I get him keeping him off TV. If you pull him away from it, I get it. But if you're bringing him back into that, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Like, even
can't believe it.
I mean, Solo's going to be Solo, but at the end of the day, and I'll always love him. And he had that promo where he's getting rehabbed.
It got so bad. Matty doesn't want Bloodline version 4. Like,
no, it's not. I'm just saying, if you're taking him out of it, which I assume that's the plan, I don't know.
They should, yeah.
But I don't know at this point, Ben. I don't know at this point, though. This is the thing.
He should be at the point. Is this a ridiculous statement? I don't think it is. Jacob Fatu should already be at the point where we should be considering him a John Cena opponent. Like, we should be going. When you're looking at John Cena's opponents this year, you go, it's all a bit lackluster there. Logan Paul, Brock Lesnar again, like, and then rightly someone might go to you, but who are the options? Jacob Fatu should be an option, and that was the point I was making in how long it took them to get the solo stuff behind them and get it done. Like, that should have been over with before WrestleMania. Like, we should have been past that point and have moved them to a level where you could do something like that. I think that he was one of the most obvious like star opportunities they've had in a while, and like I know it's not just him, but it speaks to like the complacency of the book, and it speaks to how they're not making stars like they were for so long.
It's tough for me, that one, because I understood, once again, it's Triple H's snail pace though, isn't it, Ben? It was like I understood them, all right. You're clinging on to the solo stuff, but I understood them.
But he had a plan, didn't he? There was snail pace with a plan.
at WrestleMania, I get that big moment of the secondary title, and then obviously next year I get the world title. But you're right, you could have sped it up after it and had the solo one and done. It didn't need to be 2 matches, really. Even I'm saying that it really didn't. If we're being honest, but and especially if you're not gonna, which people mightn't agree with this, and it might be the greatest match, but if you're not, booking this Talatonga as this unstoppable monster for Jacob to overcome, which I don't think they're doing. No, yeah, I get that, but even if you're in that world of like, that's the obvious thing to do kind of thing, it's like, if they're not even doing that, then what's the point of them hanging around? So, yeah, that's what I mean, Ben. It's got me all over the place because I'm like, wait there a minute. And I'd say that it needs like a Russo-style refresh for me. Just literally throw it out the window and let's start from now till Mania, and we'll forgive you and just make it good again. Really, that's what I'm at. I'm at that point, mate, of just
Brian Gowert's waiting by the phone, waiting to
just
jump in,
get him in board. Yeah, just something, please. But anyway,
there we go. I didn't expect to go down that aside. Wow, we agree. Bloodline sucks. Thank you. There's the headline.
Never suck, Benno. It never suck. Them words will never come out my mouth.
Well, we'll have more on the other comings and goings of WWE TV going into the preview. But any more on the WrestleMania story? Like I say, it takes a lot for Matty for cheering for Tony Khan. Like, I don't know what that weekend would look like if Tony Khan tries to do his own one. I guess you could get New Japan involved, couldn't you? Get CML involved,
easy enough,
partners, Rev Pro. Yeah, to be fair, all you need to do is get on the blower to like a WrestleCon, don't you? And get on the. I know GCW are in bed with WWE, aren't they? So that's all I'm thinking. You're probably not getting that, are you?
He doesn't need to get in bed with anyone for the show. He just needs to have his own promotion show. That goes. But then everything else can exist around it. And I know what you're saying. Like, there's feelers with WWE and other promotions, but I don't even think he needs to go that. He just needs to run an event in America so the others can piggyback around it again. But if he doesn't do it, and I know it's very smallest scale, GCW will still have their fucking shows all around. There'll still be something. It won't look like a typical WrestleMania weekend, but there'll still be something without AEW or not. But it'll make it even bigger if they run a show, which I honestly think they will. Put it that way. I think they definitely will.
In Saudi, you see Joey Janela making the flight. I can't see how that roster getting on the plane. Can Nick Gage make a return?
He'd be there, Janela. Like, let's not that mistake of he'd be over there, would he?
Well, while we're talking it, and I guess we're on screen, but obviously there's some big news stories.
Sorry if we're all over the place. Sorry,
no, it's all good. Let's keep going in that direction. What do you think about like the build to WrestlePalooza? Like, what do you make of it? Like, I've got some good news stories for you as far as ticketing goes, and I'm a fair man, Matty. I'll point it out when AEW is ahead. No, always when I'm not been. Got to be said, WrestlePalooza at this point, 11,472 tickets out at this point to AEW All Out 10,884, which is going to make me cry some tears coming up, Matty. But it could all change. It could swing back around again. Like, what's your thoughts on like the interest levels like going into this show? They're obviously putting a lot behind it. Like, there's a few like varied news stories related to this weekend. We can talk ESPN, of course, announcing wall-to-wall coverage leading into WrestlePalooza. Strangely, mate, that wall-to-wall coverage starts at the exact time that All Out goes to bell. 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK is when a Road to WrestlePalooza special airs on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. I think if you can figure it out, I don't know if you heard. Do you still listen to Alvarez and Meltzer? Alvarez was struggling today to figure out how to log into the ESPN app and how to buy it, because there are people out there who aren't sports fans who will want to watch it, and apparently there's still deals to be made as well as far as ESPN Plus goes. I believe it's I keep calling it ESPN Plus. This ESPN streaming service, I think it's YouTube TV and Comcast. It's not on yet. Some are expecting deals to be made this week to get that sorted out, but believing it a bit late, mate, to make a big deal of the weekend. But yeah, maybe their ESPN overlords will come good and put their full weight behind it. But yeah, it does feel like a big weekend, and they're at least trying.
Yeah, they're going to try, as you say. That doesn't surprise me, Ben, starting at the same time and all that. That was expected for sure. No matter what platform it was on, that was always going to happen. But it's a bit
of, going to put something there, weren't they?
Credibility. Yeah, for me, it's still a big brand in ESPN in the world. So I think it's a good thing. But interest levels, Ben, like it's the card itself is, all things considered, considering it is technically a B show, not one of the big shows, it's probably the biggest you can do. If we're being honest, there's no, throwaway matches. It's 5 big main event matches. It is like from top to bottom, whether you don't know if you agree with that or not. But for me, it is. There's no one who's available outside. Well, Roman's obviously not. That's not on this card. Because how many times have you sat here and went, well, fucking, I don't know, insert Randy Orton's not in this one, or Gunther's injured, but Gunther's not on this one, or Cody Rhodes is being saved for the Saturday night's main event, or Jey Uso when he was champ was on a Saturday night's main event.
He's not on
it. He's injured, is what I'm saying.
No.
Sorry, he's injured, isn't he? But you know what I'm saying? It's like you'd always pull out like, well, all the big stars on these, and you'd have a couple of kind of throwaway matches. With this, no, it's all your stars. It's all big main event matches. So I'm happy in that regard. Some of the stories going in, of course, could have been done better. That's what I say before. The creativity's not far from at its highest peak. So you can always pick holes in that. But, Lesnar and Cena, really, to be honest, has there been a build? It's been terrible, really.
No, it's been bad.
It's been
I literally was skipping through Raw before, trying to find the Cena Lesnar build, and it was just a crap Cena promo. That was it.
Yeah,
that was
but that's the thing. Lesnar had the thing with that.
Sums up this build, doesn't it?
As you to get a line from you're dotting I's and crossing T's, Ben, with our truth coming out to Brock Lesnar. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here? And I like the video package was good on the history, but you've had 3-4 weeks to build this. You've given an F5 to Sami Zayn, and there's just not enough to it. Hence, it's so lazy. There's nothing to it, is what I'm saying. I've said this in SummerSlam. It's autopilot, basic wrestling nonsense. It's just so lazy. It's beyond. I'm begging for anything, Ben. I'm begging for any little difference in what we're seeing here. That's been terrible. The mixed tag match has been, for the fact that it's fresh and it's AJ back. Yeah, that's I froze there, by the way. Sorry, I'm back. My fuming's making me freeze there, but that's been built up well. Obviously, it's helped with it, a fresh face and AJ coming back. The Uso stuff, I'm down for. I'm loving what they're doing. Obviously, with
Jay on the phone to, mate. Who's he calling? Who's he ringing?
This is it. I love what I fucking love all that. I know it's a bit bold. I'm getting like a bit of a heel turn going on or stuff like that.
No heel turn coming. I can't believe people are buying that.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, Ben. I love it though. I love all that. For Karen and Io, that has been the greatest build, but that's a big match, an actual great big women's match. I was there the night after WrestleMania for the Raw match they had, and obviously that went.
The K is one of the limited success stories of the year, especially compared to Julia and how she's done so far.
Yeah, 100%. And the other match is what's the other match I'm forgetting here, Ben?
Cody
and Drew McIntyre. Exactly. That's how big the card is, to be fair there.
The world champion, mate.
That's a world championship match, which I'm thinking that Randy Orton's going to play a part in the finish. We might get a turn there. We might end up getting to that match, or Orton might cost them or something.
You wanted that 12 months ago.
I know, this is the thing, man. You've got to hit. I'm begging for something, mate. Something a bit fucking, that you can sink your teeth into. But as I say, a bit long-winded there, as always. No. But on paper, I'm excited for the actual matches, and hopefully we get some good stories coming out of it as well. Hopefully.
All it took was Tony Khan, wasn't it, to motivate them to put some effort in. Like I say, it's Roman, it's missing very clearly for me. But if you're gonna do one of these cards where there is just and that's gonna be like the juxtaposition, isn't it? Because obviously when we get to AEW in a bit, well, on AEW side, I don't think there isn't enough big star versus big star matches.
You're fair there. Give you that again, Ben. Yeah.
But there's a lot of fucking great stuff, and but literally a lot. There's going to end up being 3 times the matches on the AEW show as there is on this one. So to look at the juxtaposition of the different ways to present a pay-per-view is going to be interesting in itself as well. But I don't think there's much they could have done to get me into Cena Lesnar, because Lesnar's there, and that still feels dirty watching. Even like I said, joked about it, but seeing Cena cut that promo on Raw this week, it just feels and he's trying to build up Lesnar, and he's talking like it's 10 years ago, he's cutting the same promos he would back then. There's no material to it. His heart doesn't feel like it's in it either. But again, what could they do to get me interested? They probably couldn't do much anyway.
Sorry, mate, but I said that take all that aside, and I don't want to shed the service on of that, of course, but you take all the real stuff aside, I don't want to see it as a wrestling fight. I've said that when it got on. I don't want to see it. I've seen it 10 years ago.
Seen it, and it was great.
I seen it at SummerSlam with the Suplex City as well, and even then it was like that. They had to go so extreme with Suplex City that it was 5 minutes, because they'd already done it 2 years before. So I got why they done it, because it was so fucking different. What are we going to get here? A greatest hits 10 years later. And I know, and I've turned a bit on Cena, in the positive way. I think his last 2 matches for me have been great, because he's put it all in. He's put it all on the line. He's give you that. He's making up for that heel turn in a way. With this, you're going to get back to fucking Cena, because in a way, he was the one giving Cody all the moves and on the offense in that. You're going to see Cena selling for fucking 25 minutes in this one and land on his ass for shit again. Exactly. I can't be arsing it. It's going to be awful. That's going to be the worst match of the card. It's going to be.
Yeah.
for me.
Easily. And it's the one they're selling, isn't it? Did you see the ESPN newscaster trying to promote it today? It was something called him like John Cena and Brock Lesnar or something like that. He called him. Just shows you, doesn't it? Like the ESPN relationships having teething problems already as real sports people trying to get their head around.
Stephen A. Smith's still there though. He's going to turn up one time. He'll have
a match. If this was guest GM, he'd be having a fucking match, wouldn't he? He'd wrestle Coach or something, or him and Michael Cole would have like a one arm behind each other's back match. Jerry Lawler would get involved. It'd be a mixed tag, 100%. Yeah, we've got a undisputed WWE title. Obviously, Cody and Drew, like you mentioned there. Like I'm into it because it's Cody. That one feels a little bit like by surprise that they've thrown it on here, but it shows that they're trying to, put as much as they can on the card. Yeah, absolutely. Usos and they call them the Division. Is that really their name? The Bronze. Let's call them that. Yeah. Not for the tag belts, by the way. Who are the tag team champions? Isn't it the Judgment Day? Judgment Day at this point. Yeah. I think I read something today. They've defended the belts once in about 3 months. Whatever the digit is. Should probably just put the belts on one of these lads.
This is what I'm saying about just reset it. Just the Bronze, just give them the belts. Like genuinely, just have them smash them, and we're good. No one will bat an eyelid. It's what should happen. Standard easy booking, but in a good way there, instead of the shite lazy stuff we're getting like it.
The two Bronnies, that's a good title. Yeah. Might steal that.
That's very good.
And I'm with you, EO versus Stephanie Becker. It'll be good. And the Punk and AJ, Seth and Becky stuff, like I watched the Raw segment this week, and it's not an original thought. Punk and AJ are carrying it, and Seth and Becky, I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. And less Becky, more Seth. But I think AJ's been a surprise hit for me, or at least for me, on the mic. And I think that's maybe just us being old men and forgetting that she always was charismatic and she always could kind of fit a role. And I like that. I don't know if you agree with me, but I like that she's awkward. I like that she's a bit like weird, and she stumbles on her words. Like this week, like the crowd started chanting, didn't they? Like something about her, and she got distracted by it and couldn't find her way back to her point, but kind of felt a bit human and kind of a work for her. I don't like the keeping all that, I skipped to the ring because I'm a bit mad and I'm a bit crazy. I feel like 10 years later you could have dropped some of that stuff and made it more of a just this is me the person, that sleight of hand that you can just leave the gimmick behind a little bit, but they're still leading into that stuff. But yeah, I thought she was good. I thought Punk was good. I thought it was a good little go home segment for a match that not hugely excited to see, but I understand why they're doing it.
But that one for me, Ben, like I like the segment on SmackDown where, and it was something different. And this isn't like me saying this was amazing and it's like out the box. I don't want something completely out the box. It's wrestling. Everything's been done. Everything gets rehashed. I get it. But with that AJ and Becky stuff, where she obviously had the title around the waist still, and it was simple as lining in the ring, come and get it. Yeah. It was just easy like that. But it was good because it was different. That's what I'm saying. It weren't just let's lead to a match later on, tag match, all that same bollocks.
And you can see the money, can't you? You can see the tag match and then you can see the singles match afterwards.
Exactly.
Easy, innit?
And this is old school, but in a great way, what I want to see more. Even Becky, I'll slightly push back on that. And I don't love Seth. And Becky Lynch I was on the up with her, and then I had that ladder match at SummerSlam that I went back down with her. But I do think she's leaning into this heel role brilliantly, and she's playing that old school heel, and I like it. It's easy, but it's getting big heat in the building as well. So I'm more acceptant of it than I've heard a few other people say. So I'm down for it, Ben. I am. And Punk and AJ, as you say, are going to get the win, I'd say, and then you lead down to the single matches between the two at the next event. Simple, good booking, though, for me. That's one I will say is. And once again, is it down to Punk and Seth carrying it, and Punk's got a bit of creativity? It must be down to that, mustn't it? So
I feel like they got Punk in a room. It was like, okay, the bad news is, mate, you've got to keep working with Seth. The good news is we can get AJ involved, and he probably went for it. Or it's probably his fucking idea at this point. Who knows? But yeah, it's so funny. Like everyone in the chat saying the same thing. Like, have you ever seen a shoot couple with less chemistry than Seth and Becky? And that's the thing. The characters don't make sense to be together either, do they? It's like we're just being forced to do this because they're a real life couple. But I guess it's a layup. It was a way to get.
But I will say,
so I can live with it.
That's a positive as well, because we were getting territories of like the Authority and Daniel Bryan stuff for me with Division laying everyone out at the end of the Raw. It was like 4 weeks in a row. So I'm glad Becky and Seth have been paired in just the fact that it's separated them from the Bronze, and we're not having that heat angle at the end of the Raw. Because even I was like, for fuck's sake, lads, stomps every week to end it. It was lazy. So I'm glad of that aspect and letting them have mic time. Which I'm all for, Ben. They might be the best on the mic, breaking a read, but they're getting a chance to get more comfortable because we weren't getting much when Seth and Heyman were there. So I'm all for that. always
felt like a step
learning,
backwards, didn't it? It felt like, okay, like, especially obviously Bron
Look
Breakker,
like bouncers and suit. How shit was it?
He's gone backwards. This is a role he should have been doing at the start when he was brought up. Like, I feel like he's ready for other things already, and they've gone backwards. But yeah, maybe they'll get there, but not on this current book. And I just based on that, yeah. Obviously, we might we won't have your own weekend show, mate, but we might get your predictions through other avenues. Maybe keep an eye on our YouTube this week, folks. But I don't know. You're gonna be crying tears when Jimmy turns on Jay for the 40th time, or Jay turns on Jimmy, or you know. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm surprised how many people have bought into it. Like, clearly, it's just LA Knight and Jey Uso doing a whole, like, it's just to build the feud, isn't it? It's babyfaces. If anything, match. LA Knight's going to be a heel. That's my guess. It's going to be $1 Million Man, you know, Tatanka, Lex Luger, all that stuff. Yeah. It's going to turn out that he's the actual Paddy, because, like, even then, not that fucking stupid. Like, just take that license to print money that is yeet sunglasses and go with it.
But at the same time, I do like this obviously, like, I love, don't I, the story, the telling where he is turning into Roman, and Roman having that backstage convo with him a couple of weeks ago about you've got to look after yourself and all that. So I like the way they're leaning into that. But yeah, ultimately, I can't see Jay turning full baddie, because it ultimately will lead to Jimmy versus Jay again, won't it? So that's what it will, won't it? So, as you say, there's got to be a red herring in this, but I do like the way he's, you know, because he was always conflicted, apart from when he's on his own the last 2 years. I like this long-term story. I'm always going to be down. Jay and Solo, Ben, no matter what they do, I'm always going to be down for them. So, yeah, I'm loving it.
Look, if Jey Uso can be as over as he is, but he has tag team matches, I think we're all better off. I think that would be a win for absolutely anybody. Any other thoughts on the TV or anything going into the paper before we talk the other big news story of the day that's on our head today?
No, just that, Ben. Like I said, I'm glad I've been on to have a bit of the state of the WWE.
You did tell me there was a rant coming. Was that the rant? Is that it? Is that, are we done?
No, that was
I thought the
rant
was going to be against me or against the AEW fans or something. You're changing man today.
No, I'm just honest, Ben. Like I've always said, I'm honest. But I always have been. If I'm loving something, I'll love it. If I'm not happy, I won't be happy. As I said on the After SummerSlam one, there's always going to be characters, and there's always going to be, like, the promotion itself that I'm always going to be for. Of course I am. But overall, the creativity, no one, even myself, like a handful of even, like, we can't deny it. Like, you can't. You're getting what's seen in front of your eyes, and you just can't deny it, mate. And it needs something. I don't know where that spark's going to come from. You know, usually we even, like, me and JP are starting to put WrestleMania cards together at even this point. You know, you do. After SummerSlam, you do. Like last year, nothing's on the horizon at all. At all, though. Because even last year it was slim pickings, but you're like, oh, you might get one or two, or Punk and this. And, mate, not because the way they've been booking, that's what I mean. Because of these shows have been coming at you thick and fast once a month. Yeah. Once again, not sticking up for Triple H, but he usually is basing it around slower builds. He's got to think of these matches and get them out the way quick once a month. It's different times for sure, Ben. And hopefully there's a spark. Hopefully we get it back, and we will see in the upcoming months, mate.
I hope not. But maybe the person who saw it was coming, mate, to get to our other big story of the day. Obviously, the gigantic one this week, mate. The blockbuster is that Andrade is out of WWE. Obviously, the story came through. I think it was Saturday morning as it kind of slipped through, and it was like, hang on, is this a real story? And it turns out that it is in fact a real story. As Andrade apparently had some disciplinary action from WWE that's obviously led to his release. Obviously, originally reported by BodySlam.net that WWE had quietly cut ties with Andrade, that he'd been moved to the alumni section of the company website, and then it did turn out that the departure was not mutual, and that the WWE had released him from his contract. The follow-up report and did say, and obviously Dave Meltzer had some follow-up stuff there in there as well. Obviously, Mark, a friend of ours from WrestleMobs, was the one who originally found that Andrade had been taken off the WWE.com website as far as being an active member of the roster goes. And since that time, lots of other people have followed up with the story. Apparently, Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his WWE run. I don't know if that's just WWE playing the PR game in the sheet.
He was a monster, like.
I mean, as was Lottie, mate. I mean, that's the thing that's that's the glowing thing that's right in front of us as well. But we'll let that one go. Obviously, they're not together anymore. But apparently, as well, like in the run up to them wanting to release him or at least get in touch with him, he just wasn't reachable, wasn't answering his phone, wasn't answering any emails, wasn't answering any texts, and they took the decision to just release him in the end. And obviously, there've been plenty of reports about him not being happy in WWE or appearing not to be happy. So that might be half the reason why Body Slam followed up and did find out that WWE couldn't get in touch with him for a few weeks. But yeah, the details are still a bit clear as mud. But I don't know. Luchadors are going to luchador. I mean, that's kind of what's happened here, isn't it, with Andrade? Start the countdown to when he goes back to AEW, and then when he gets back to AEW, start the countdown to when he goes back to WWE. That's not what proper wrestlers do, mate. There's a part of me that quite enjoys this.
I'm exactly the same as you, man. It's so rare these days, though, isn't it? Where like people are like want the spot on. I know AEW's opened up that for wrestlers to go back and forth, but you don't really see it. But I'd love him to go back, and as you say, a bit of a free spirit, isn't he? So in that regard, and not really seems asked about it doing that in that way. So yeah, it was a surprise though. Like it genuinely was a surprise when I was like, what's going on here? But yeah, it explains, because I thought him and Phoenix were getting over well as a tag team, and I thought they'd win the belts at SummerSlam. I had them to win that TLC match, so I was a bit shocked when they didn't, and obviously they must have had all this in mind. Or
was that the last time? I haven't think I've read that. That was the last appearance. Was he on a SmackDown?
He was on SummerSlam. He might have been on a SmackDown, but that was the last time I remembered them. They were really red up then, going up, got 3 or 4 wins in the build-up, and it was the obvious layup for them to win the belts. Like so, yeah. But it's a strange one, but. As you say, I'm like you, Ben, kind of get a kick out of it in a weird way.
Well, it's that point, wasn't it? It was him and Carmelo that did like the best.
I love that best of 7. Yeah, I like that.
And then like randomly they put the belt on Nakamura. like the payoff was that like Nakamura's going to be the champion. It was like, hang on, what the fuck's happened here? Sure, those 2 lads seemed like they were getting over a bit. And again, like it's funny, isn't it? It's only Andrade, and we had this conversation with AEW, like what was his actual ceiling? What did they expect? You know, where what more? You know, how high up the card could he have been? But like you say, he clearly maybe didn't rate that tag run as highly as maybe yourself did, and or other fans watching did, and he maybe saw, just speculating, the writing on the wall from how that best of 7 series went, and just kind of saw things going the same way it did in AEW. Maybe he lost his head because of it. I don't really know. It's one of those, isn't it, where it's like, it's not like I think it's a gigantic travesty, but all at the same time, like you've got to point out, we did the same thing with AEW. You've got to point out like the flaws on his side, but also the flaws in the booking, and like both parts can be true at the same time, can't they?
But it's hard, Ben, and this is where it goes into like, I don't know, wrestling companies have always had stacked rosters and loads of wrestlers on there, but I think it's kind of that, like there's that, like we say about AEW, but you can say to WWE as well, maybe on a lesser degree, because they're overall good wrestlers in AEW, aren't they? Like you get lost in the shuffle. Like you try something with them, but not everyone can be world champion. Not everyone can be this. You can try it, but there's just that many wrestlers. Want to be. We agree on that. Of course, they should be. Of course, mate. And that's why we agree on, like, if you're not happy with your position, get out of there.
That's why we both like Loki, innit?
Yeah, of course, respect that to great.
And Bret Hart, who would do like, contrary to your propaganda on Bret.
People not doing jobs with that. I love all that in this day and age, because you get people who do jobs too willy-nilly. And we agree on AEW top stars doing it, Ben, when they shouldn't be doing jobs, like. So it works both ways, but it's mad. As I say, I love that Mellow series. For me, I do think he's a really good wrestler, and you can do more with him, but it is what it is at this point, Ben, and we'll see where he ends up. I mean, Simon in the chat saying MLW here. I mean, TNA at this point, but he might feel like he's too big time for that.
Yeah. I mean, you can clearly, like, again, read between the lines, whether it was the booker or, you know, he was probably asked to do some AAA and probably said, fuck off, I would guess. I didn't say, because that's what you can tell, like, even with Penta, like, you can tell he's probably thinking, okay, I got signed to WWE and now I've still got to go do AAA. What the fuck happened there? How's that possible? Like, I kind of get that with him, and obviously there's all the history there as well. But CMLL, yeah, maybe that'd be a backdoor way into, like, going back to AEW, and that, like, as Steph said there, yeah, Tony probably would be a fool to rehire him after how the run went. Maybe you could pair him with Chavo Guerrero again, or pair him with Vicky Guerrero.
Vicky Guerrero, yeah.
See, it's not all his fault. We have got to say, you know, some of the booking wasn't great, but I can't see them retrying again. But maybe he could, like, I saw a couple people speculate that, like, you could see him turning up on a Collision as part of, like, some kind of CMLL thing rather than, you know, actually being an AEW wrestler.
this is it, mate. It is. It's just. It is what is next, and I think maybe the other parents in TNA obviously won't sign not on long term. I don't think, and so he shouldn't at this point either. He should just go and sign little short term deals in different companies and try and do like a touring thing around the world or whatever. But New Japan, Ben, is that an option? Like JP be saying that to wrestler, he'd be saying that, you know, he's happy for a wrestler. He loves that, though. He loves it. I'm fair play.
Wrestle Shibata at Wrestle Kingdom.
He could fit in, though, couldn't he? He'd actually be good there.
He's got the history too. Yeah, so it could work.
Yeah. So it's I love it.
There you go. Oh yeah, and that's it really. It's that's all I've kind of got to say on it. We'll see where he lands up. But yeah, not a huge travesty either way, but definitely more that could be done with him. Maybe he'll find the place he's happy at some point, mate. But other WWE related news we've got to get into. Obviously, of course, SmackDown rating was up with AJ Lee's big appearance the week before last. Back down again, shows the mega draw that AJ was. And I say that like I'm joking. I mean it. Like clearly that's what happened, isn't it? Like there was clearly a peak of interest in making a return, and obviously it crashed back down to earth this week with the rating there, 1.316 million viewers, down 15% again. People like us tell you that AJ Lee's not a draw. Turns out she is, and maybe there's more people younger than us that see it as the big star that she very clearly is. On the other WWE numbers front, TKO have announced 1 billion in share repurchases. The stock has obviously reacted to that announcement, and obviously it's 800 million worth of stock that TKO bought back. I didn't fully understand what that news story meant, but I did see Brandon Thurston explain it. Essentially, it means that they think the stock's going to be worth even more going forward, so therefore they've bought a load back to hopefully sell again later at a higher price. So that tells you the confidence in the future, and TKO don't think they're going to be losing all their money to Zuffa Boxing anytime soon. And yeah, unless you've got comments on that, mate, there was also a news story on WWE Biz fronts that Paul Levesque says that WWE are now building a bigger and better performance center, and could it result in as many big stars as the current performance center put together, like indie guys and guys from
Tiffany
Japan.
Stratton, Ben. We'll throw that one in.
Okay, Tiffany Stratton. We'll throw it in as a name. Apparently said this on the Nightcap YouTube show with Ocho Cinco's on it. There you go. With Shannon Sharp confirming it's going to be a new facility in Orlando. Bigger, better than ever. I guess the last one was built in 2013, so it makes sense
to be fair. Yeah.
But there we go. We'll give them that one. Any thoughts on that?
No,
Who is the biggest star? Genuinely, is it that? Is it Tiffy?
From the original performance center,
because you can't give him Sami Zayn, you can't give him Kevin Owens, you can't give him Finn Balor, like all the names that Triple H will take credit for on conference calls. Like 80% of our active roster came from the performances. I know they went to like bump and roll class.
Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha and Bailey and the Four Horsemen. Would you say that? Would you say them?
Yeah, I guess you could. Yeah. I guess on the women's side, yeah, there's more of an argument, isn't there? On the men's side, like I've seen people argue Seth Rollins. Nope, FCW. You got to give it that.
Solo, Benno. Not have a big solo in there.
I mean, a success story.
As a star, maybe at a point. But
Bray Wyatt.
But if you're having Bray Wyatt, isn't that Roman and that FCW same as Bray Wyatt, isn't it? And stuff. Husky Harris was there. Well, maybe the character Bray Wyatt, but yeah, I'm trying to think there must be an obvious one we're missing. There must be.
Roman Reigns. That's FCW.
Roman, these are FCW, aren't they? The Shield, like they're FCW, really. But yeah, I have to think about that one then, jumping out there, yeah. But yeah, I'd take the Four Horsewomen, really, for long. You know, we said on the Four Horsewomen
that's your strongest argument.
In all series. Like,
and look how strong the women's division is now, after all that, you know.
But that's what I'm saying,
with the respect he did in NXT.
When you, like the Shield and the Four Horsewomen, that's the goal, isn't it? You create a faction, and then they all go on to have durable longevity, but like be big stars as well. And all 7 of them really have, you know what I mean, in wrestling. So
fair play from Andy there. Rhea Ripley, that's one I wouldn't think
Rhea Ripley's a star, yeah.
With her being an Aussie and also coming through NXT UK, which is still weird when you think back of it, that she did NXT UK.
Strowman, Ben, they got a soft spot for the big fella. He did well for the
I remember when he was in Adam, he was one of Adam Rose's Rosebuds, mate, for the first few weeks. He turned up on TV. My memory goes back. Big fan. Uncle Hardy. Big E was like the first champion, was he? Was he the first NXT champion? Or at least he was the champion?
He was.
He was doing the 5 count thing, wasn't he? That was his
he was, at the start. No, Seth was the first NXT champ, wasn't he, Seth? I'm sure he was.
But I mean, when NXT became a thing that people were watching. But yeah, Seth won that tournament. No, you are right though. Yeah, Seth was. They had him in the ring, didn't he, with Regal with the belt and all of that.
Dusty as well, wasn't it? Yeah, Dusty was in there.
All of that.
Yeah.
So a long laundry list, mate, of big. On the women's side, I think we've got to give it to them. But on the men's side, like Simon says, they've only been open a decade. Just need some more time. Maybe they'll.
Going with Solo myself, Ben. I'll hang me out on the big man. So yeah.
Who's your pick from the current NXT roster? Saxton Bemusley. Johnson.
You're Hank and Tank, man, aren't you, Ben?
Starkley Rickerson, or whatever
Ricky
his name
Starks,
is.
Yeah.
Starkley Rickerson.
Up and cover, yeah. Ricky Starks. We'll go with him. Ethan
Never
Payne.
making it easy.
Open Femi for me, like as always. As I said about 2 years ago, he should never have lost any match in the history of wrestling. He should have just went undefeated forever. Love big over Femi, but I love Javon Evans as well. I do like him. I think there's a lot of potential there with him. I mean, he needs to cut out taking them bumps, mate, because he's not gonna. They're just outrageous at this point. Them bumps have been catching up a bit. Need to still watch the Heatwave match. I'm on the ring entrances for that, so I need to catch up with that. Some of the bumps he took in the meantime in the build up.
Well, we got it. What's it? Not Tabby Tuesday. What are they called? Taco Tuesday? No. What's the title Tuesday? There you go. Coming up. AEW versus NXT.
AEW stacked that as well, Ben.
Be a Wednesday spotlight that week. Open invite, mate, if you want to get your NXT hat back on. And we can,
I'll get it back on. I'm sure you'll throw the meme back out, Ben. I'm sure you will.
One of the greatest things I ever created, mate. Come on, get admit it.
No, it was good.
Better than even this podcast. Fantastic stuff. Young stars like Ethan Page, maybe could make it through it at some point as well. But we'll be at war, so we'll look forward to that as well. Has Matty watched the AEW July pay-per-view, Andy?
No, I was there for the August one though.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough. We'll get to that in a minute. Well, one thing you might have watched this week, mate, I was wondering, I haven't actually asked you off air, so I assume you have, but obviously Dominic Mysterio is currently the AAA Mega Champion in a wonderful lineage that includes Kenny Omega, and now has Dominic Mysterio on it.
That was only 4 years ago. Kenny had that when he done the belt collector gimmick with TNA and AAA and everything.
To be fair, that's longer ago than I would have guessed. I would have gone like 3, even knowing that Kenny was being due for a big chunk of that as well. But yeah, makes some interesting reading that list. But obviously, Dom's the champion. He's going to be appearing on the next big AAA show coming up in Mexico City. But yeah, did you manage to see any of Worlds Collide as a show? I had it down as a review near the end, but I threw it on. I watched the opener and then I skipped to the main event and I watched the Dom match and just watched just how sad it is to see Vikingo get booed out the building continuously, and the commentators have to struggle to explain it, and Conan try to make sense of it and talk about it all as well. But I enjoyed Dom and Rey Mysterio's interactions, and that was about it. Really, there wasn't much else going on.
Same here, mate. But it's Dominic Mysterio. I mean, like I said it a while back, didn't I? And I think I've got a few pelters, and I've said it to Crewy and the likes as well. I mean, for me, he's a future WWE champion, and people can still laugh at that. I mean, he's obviously not the greatest wrestler in the world, Ben.
As a joke run, maybe.
I think he's going to get it. But is he a world champion now? Have I come to the thing of that? Like, he is a world champion now, isn't he? And it's like, he is now like
Del Rio
the greatest wrestler in the world. But he's just got something about him, hasn't he? He has done ever since what a masterstroke it was, and I'll give Triple H that one, to turn him heel and to go with this character. And he's lent into it himself, and obviously Ray is going to big his son up. I've seen some of the interviews he's been doing in real life, and how proud can he be? He is, and it's perfect for him though, Ben. It's the perfect setting for him to go out on his own, and do this type of thing and just get. It's just natural, isn't it? He's a Mysterio, obviously. He's over. It's just an easy.
It's not the path you would have guessed, is it? Because I always remember, like when he debuted, like when it was him and Logan Paul debuted pretty much around the same time, didn't he?
Pat McAfee. The same weekend. It was Adam Cole v McAfee and Seth versus Dominic. It was the same weekend.
Oh, so was Logan after that, was he? Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Logan was after that, yeah. WrestleMania after it.
All three, we all had the same reaction, didn't we? Oh, they were better than we thought they'd be. Like, people forget that. But that first match, we did all go, oh, you know what? There might be something there. And then 2 weeks later, we were all like, nah, there's nothing there. He's just crap, and he shouldn't be on WWE TV. That was the conversation, because, like, that was the story, wasn't it? Rey Mysterio had a bidding war between AEW and WWE, and he chose to go to WWE because WWE willing to take his idiot son. And that's how Dominic Mysterio was created, and like now look at him, look at what he's at now. Like, you wouldn't have predicted this is the role in which he'd have the success he's had, and I am As you saw, mate, at the live arena show in Manchester a few years ago, like I am a big fan of the act. Like I like me work rate, guys. That's why I like AEW. But I think there's always space for a wrestler like Dom on your roster. And, like, you could see it watching this show back. You can hear it in Coran's voice, like kind of how proud he is, and you can see it in like Rey Mysterio playing it up, and they are fucking hilarious when they go back and forth on Instagram and that, and they give each other grief. Like, and him not, Dom at the end of the show making him put the belt on him and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
it's great. And you'd take another match with them, wouldn't you? I love that they've not made up, that they don't like they continue to kayfabe it
forever,
because there's always money in another match, isn't there? Like, it's right
and
there.
That's the good thing about that, Ben. That was a one and done. As in, at the time, they didn't have a series of matches.
It was one.
If that's WrestleMania, I'm begging for that to be at WrestleMania next year, because
I think it'll be Rey's retirement match, won't it? Whenever he has it.
But Aaliyah is actually training to be a wrestler in the performance center, isn't she? She's coming in soon whenever she gets, the all clear to
Mysterio in every corner.
This is what it's going to be, and she's going to play into them getting in there. But I'd love that to be, and honestly, that's why I think he could do the hair. It's so easy, mask versus hair. But they might do that in AAA now, Ben, for their big show. You can do it there, can't you? Or you can do it at WrestleMania. Needs to happen for me, and it'd be brilliant. There
you go. I'd take it, but like I said, as a gimmick. But I wouldn't have said that a few years ago. But did you have any thoughts on, like I say, that it's just sad to see it all, really. There wasn't anything else to say, really. It was a show.
Yeah, and as it is, it's just obviously the judging.
Disappointing attendance as well. Obviously on a big Vegas weekend with the boxing going on. I think they really thought there'd be some kind of tie in there with like a lot of Hispanic people in town. Crossover didn't really happen, and it's a show that came and went on YouTube, really.
But what you'd expect, Ben, when The Undertaker's one of the creative forces behind the
It's insane.
It's fucking bananas, though.
Well, they did like the whole thing with keep on saying Mr. America. What's he called? Axel Dieter Jr.
Grande Americano.
Yeah, that was like the finish, wasn't it? I was just imagining Undertaker and Shawn Michaels in like a creative meeting trying to put that together, just like how the mighty have fallen at that point. But yeah. That's where we are. But on that note, we've got one on family story, mate. That I did put in your colour. Don't know if you're able to get it up and read it out, but throw it up on the screen for you, mate. As the Saudi money is going around, you get the next yellow ones up. Shawn Michaels has revealed he is undergoing knee surgery soon, and to look at him, it's probably just not the even there in the dress pants you can see his knees kind of popping out there. I always say elbows for knees. I think he's got knees for elbows there or the other way around. But he's getting a double knee replacement, mate. So does that mean he smells that Saudi money, and we could get it? We could get Shawn versus Brett. How about that? There you go. We missed that in the possible matches.
So he lost his smile when he had that one knee injury. So he's losing two smiles at once here, Ben. Is it a frown and a smile he's losing? I mean, what's going on here? But yeah, it's right though. Why are
there's other surgeries you can probably do with first, but I won't say them. I'm not through.
Is he definitely, Ben? Yeah.
Lasers, That's all I'm saying.
I mean, you put two and two together here, Ben. You could be getting forward this. He's thinking, let's get this scoped out. Let's get this done so I can get in there in a year and a half's time and earn that 10 million fucking quid, mate. I mean, whatever at this point. I mean, yeah, fucking hell, mate. Good job he hasn't got a belt that he doesn't have to lose 1, 2, 3 as well at this point. So, yeah, we'll say that for old Michael Hickenbottom. Yeah, he will. As
he always did in 1996 and 1997. We've just got on in your house to the him losing the belt to Survivor Series. And
serious, Ben. Not just saying it. And I think I've said to you this off it on one of our Patreon shows. I have, I got up to date when I flew out to Vegas. That I loaded all your shows up to do, and obviously you get even on a plane, I get sidetracked, mate, doing my head goes. But literally now I'm catching up, and I said this to Hamlet. I don't just want it on in the background where I'm doing stuff. I like to watch you on the telly and soak it in and hear the stories, and I'm genuinely loving them up to Euros 5 at the minute. So I'm literally taking them all in properly, mate. So it's really enjoying them. Can't wait to get further. And I said to Hamlet, can't wait till the Stevie is coming, mate. I cannot wait just to hear the love for Steve, because I can't wait for it.
Well, to give you the behind the scenes, like we obviously got a few in the can before Hamlet was coming out to Thailand, and obviously I had a few things on. So we've just reconvened this week to get the latest housekeeping in the bottle to come out this weekend. And literally it's about 2 hours long, as we have to go through like Steve and Brian Pillman and Bret are coming back to set up the match with Steve at Survivor Series 97. Yeah. Never mind Shawn losing the belt and like throwing a paddy in his promos, and Shawn and Bret starting to throw jabs at each other and stuff like that. But yeah, sat on the couch next to Jose. we talked about that Sean. 2 hours, the latest housekeeping round, just because of the amount of gushing, to be honest, we did around Steve, but like it gets exciting.
Wait for
it really does. We say it all the time, but like the difference between like early 1996 and late 1996, like 10 years might have well have gone by at that point, and like we hit fast forward on it as we get into to 1997.
It's almost like
everyone look forward to that.
It's almost like the biggest and best superstar wrestler of all time is on the come up, and what's going to change the game, Ben, isn't it? I mean, that's what's.
Oh, I buried them a bit, to be honest, mate.
But Ben, I don't want to hear it. I can't wait now to fucking shout at me fucking telly when you're unloading on Steve.
Oh, I thought you meant Brett. I was going to say.
Oh, sorry. No, okay.
Steve on nice thing. But you have to listen to hear where the jabs.
Of course.
Look, I'm an emboldened 1996 Sean fan. I've got to defend my guy. So yeah, look forward to that this weekend on the Benno and Hamford feed. But great to segue into some AEW and talk. And obviously, I've got Gareth on the live tomorrow, so we'll be going into all of this in quite a bit more detail. But all worth noting at this point. And obviously, as the chat were asking, Matty, you're well up to date on your AEW with being there live at Forbidden Door. I think you and Hamflet, he was getting a lot of mentions there this week, might be the only two who actually half agree with me that I didn't really think Forbidden Door was up to much as a show. It was one of those experiences where, because everyone in the audience and everyone in our chat and our Discord and all of my co-hosts all went and had the boss time, like I didn't want to be the one who's pissing on the chips and going all the way from out here in Thailand. I didn't think it was show. But I think, with a little bit of time since, I think maybe people might agree with maybe my broad take that AEW has gone off the boil a little bit from a booking point of view. But with that said, I am looking forward to it. Also, the weekend it is missing, obviously, your big draw and match. I think it's one main eventer versus main eventer, match away from being looking like a really, really great card coming up this weekend. But like it's the same old story, isn't it? From an execution point of view, we're going to come out of the weekend and go, how fucking good was that? And that's like how it looks at this point. Like, to run through the card, we've got obviously Hangman Page defending against JP's favourite wrestler, Kyle Fletcher, for the world title. We'll see how we can show if JP has turned any more in poor Kyle Fletcher's favour. Cope and Christian versus FTR. Mercedes versus Rio. We've got Okada against Takeshita and to be determined. But
Beast Moto's playing
Beast Motos. Yeah, that's going to be him in that way. Weird that. I don't know why Okada, who's also the champion, had to win a match in a tournament to get to the final
Tony
of the
Khan
tournament.
Autopilot,
I mean, what would have happened if Michael Oku won? I guess Michael Oku would be defending Okada's, but I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
Wrestling. Sometimes Tony Khan's wrestling figure Fed can give, and sometimes it can take away. That's one where it took away. AW World Tag title match. We've got Bro Dido, obviously, against one of the teams in that ladder match. We've got Hurt Syndicate versus Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. We've got John Moxley versus Darby Allin in a coffin match. We've got Tony Storm against Tekla. I think I got that right. Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander in a four-way. And we've got MJF versus Mark Briscoe. And obviously, the big story that we need to talk about, we've added this week, we've got Eddie Kingston in there against Big Bill. And obviously, there was a gigantic angle on Dynamite last week no, wait, it was Collision. Oh, well, at least we know it was on Collision. We probably had an Eddie Kingston promo. No, wait. I think my notes here, Matty, say it was a post on Threads that Eddie Kingston put. Throw it all away. AW's dead. Nah, it's not really. I think Gareth's going to have strong thoughts on that tomorrow on the live. I actually am more forgiving of it. Like, I do feel I'm more forgiving of the Kyle Fletcher idea than like a JP is. I just think at this point, very clearly we're missing Swerve and Ospreay, and very clearly we're missing Kenny Omega as well. It's
of course
whatever the circumstances are, and I know Kenny doesn't like people talking about it, but like it's really unfortunate he's not on this show, because I think they could probably do with just one more big star match in it. But if that's the situation, I don't know if you're the same as me. I think it's the time to put a Kyle Fletcher in a match like that. I think it's a time to move somebody up. It's certainly a better choice than Wardlow, which was supposedly
I was going to say, maybe that's why he's in this match, because Wardlow was meant to be in it.
Apparently, Wardlow was going to be a future title match, and I would hope that wasn't going to be a pay-per-view and that was going to be a TV match, just to keep myself sane. But I think in the situation, I'm all right with it being Kyle Fletcher. In the situation, I think Moxley Darby makes sense as a story. Obviously, you've got the backdrop of Daniel Garcia there as well. But maybe from a star point of view, isn't quite coming to the lofty standards of I keep wanting to call it a Wrestle Dream on the other channel, WrestlePalooza, which is genuinely somehow a real thing, mate. But I think it looks like a cracking little show.
And I think it's one of them, Ben. Like, All Out was one of the original like big shows were in it, but by design now, because All In's pretty much literally before it, it's kind of like a bit of a lesser show. But for me, I agree with you again. I'm sick of this, Ben. I'm sorry, I'm really fucking sick of it. But it's a perfect time for him to get this title shot because he doesn't need to win the belt. It's him getting his first world title shot and eating a loss in a competitive match, which it's going to be. I mean, that's perfect at this point. You know, he's young enough. He's been in there with your Ospreay, so he's earned it as well. He's won titles. It makes sense. It makes sense. You don't have to. It's first. Not every day. I'm sick of so many tropes in wrestling that like you have this big build up and then he's got to win his first world title match. No, you don't have to. You can learn from that and tell a story out of that he didn't win. He's going to get better. He's going to get more reps. He's going to win more belts before he can build himself up to that. So it's perfect in that regard. It's a good, solid world title defense for
and I don't think it's rushed either because I think like
no,
he's been on the brink like this last while. He got to this point.
How many times? Yeah. You know, on pay-per-view. You know, so
that's it. It'll be another notch in his belt, won't it? It'll be experience and he'll look good in loss. And the match will be great too. I think it ticks a lot of boxes there. Well, genuinely, what do you think of the Eddie Kingston thing? Like, I think obviously we all thought, and I've used this analogy. This is the third podcast I've used this analogy on, but like, forgive me, I'm sure you feel the same way. It's Shawn Michaels 98 stuff, isn't it? Where like every deadly game gets announced, everyone's chanting HBK. There's a mystery man in the main events of the Raw, everyone's chanting HBK.
Greater power
with Eddie Kingston. Yeah, greater power, chanting HBK. We've had that for 6 months with Eddie Kingston, haven't we? Like any time, like the Death Riders are on top, or like there's any opportunity for a mystery man to be on like a multi-person team, people have expected it to be Eddie Kingston. And they've gone this route. And like I saw Collision this weekend. I enjoyed Collision. I enjoyed Big Bill's promo. It wasn't perfect. You know, he got his crowd work wasn't the best, but he got the message across. I think it was a good. Again, maybe it's the fact that right now for Benno and Hamflett, I'm watching Steve Austin do the same job with Bret Hart. You know, Steve Austin calling out Bret until Bret comes back. It feels a little bit influenced by that. I wonder if Tony Khan's listening to Benno and Hamflett on the slime where he's got the idea. It's not quite that. Don't get me wrong, but I don't mind it. In general, it's just in this situation where we all, you know, we're expecting something bigger. I don't know whether it speaks to, you know, where I think JP was right. Like, maybe we all think of Eddie Kingston bigger than AEW does, because, like, I think the point Garrett's probably going to make tomorrow on the live is, like, Eddie Kingston, you know, is a bigger star than this, and there are bigger ways you could be doing this than the way they've done it.
But then we were fancy booking fucking Eddie Kingston win the world title at half an Ash. How many years, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know whether it is like we think he's a.
And he's one of yours, Eddie Kingston, as well.
He's that good.
For those who aren't long-term listeners.
Yeah, of course. He's fucking brilliant, and I'm with you again. Once again, fucking should spit every time I say that. But it is how many Death Riders. It just makes perfect sense, and that's why I asked the group chat. Not fully up to date on the AEW law, but I thought, did he get written off TV? Because I thought Tony Khan, to be fair to him, doesn't miss a trick with tying stories up and wanting to finish that actual thing and make it all make sense. And then obviously one of the lads said he injured himself in New Japan, wasn't it? So unfortunate, but still with the history of Mox and all that, and Darby in there and all that, and all the lads, Claudio, the history with him and Eddie Kingston, it's such an easy thing to bring him back into that fold.
Which I think they'll get to, won't they? Because I feel like this is going to get him on the show. This is where I'll forgive them. If this match gets him on the show, it gets him a strong win, it gets Big Bill. We all want Big Bill to do more, don't we? We want Big Bill to be a singles in AEW. It achieves that. If he has that match, and then because he's in the building, that he runs into the Death Riders, or the Death Riders run into him, or like,
definitely.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's just what gets him in the building, and then we go to something more story-laden. I think it'll be okay. If they ignore all that, and like it's a long-term feud with Big Bill, I won't be into it.
Everyone like this, but no, what I'd have him do, Ben, seriously, what I'd have him do, it's obviously, to be fair here, right, and I can't believe I'm speaking so highly of AEW so much, that's not going to be a typical 20-minute match like every fucking match on that card, is it? Him and Big Bill be 5 minutes, scrap in and out there, it can't be 15, 20 minutes, it fucking can't be. 10, number one. Maybe. So you get that out of the way, and Ben, you know, I'd have to fit him back. I just have him coming out the coffin, mate, in that coffin match, turning up to save fucking Darby Allin. All
right, no, we're not doing that.
That's what I'd have him doing. But in all seriousness, long term,
Kingston taker.
Long term, that's the route you go, isn't it? You get. Yeah. Once again, Moxley for me has got to be ousted, the end game, out of his own group, and it's perfect with King and Cesaro. with that history that King could try and turn Moxley around. That's how I'd do it, or cause a little bit of beef anyway between them or something like that. And King will deliver it so serious and so well, like only he can. That'll be great TV. It'll be great promos, won't it, and stuff like that. So, yeah, he'll get in there eventually with them, Ben. But as you say, the positive is it gets him back established, gets a win, gets a big pop, and we move on from there.
I wonder, like I said on it on Weekend Show, was it his call? Like, did he say, like, I don't want to come in a high-pressure situation? In which case, you might applaud Tony Khan for his man management as far as, like, psychologically getting his man back. But you also could say, come on, Tony, just be, push him a little bit and go, come on, Eddie, you're a bigger deal than you think you are, and get him in a bigger role. But maybe we'll get there. But like I say, teaser for live tomorrow, because I know Gareth isn't happy about this one bit. I think he'll have very, very strong thoughts on it. Maybe I'm a little bit more forgiving. Obviously, other big thing going on the TV at the minute, Daniel Garcia's heel turn. So Taz giving him grief for daring to wear a hoodie. Apparently, that's trademarked. Hook's the only person who can wear hoodies these days. I didn't think it was a great start in Collision to just the gear and stuff just look weird on Garcia, and I feel like if you're going to do this, I think he needs to be a bigger character in all of this. I think he needs to be honest, have a match at the pay-per-view coming up, and he's just going to be in Moxley's corner, isn't he? So I'm a little bit worried from that point of view, but also still hopeful they're going to do, an interesting story with him there, and maybe him and Wheeler Yuta end up falling out, and it ends up, going back to their rivalry, and we get something there, but I'm open-minded to it, even if I don't think the early execution has been great. But how many times have I said that about Daniel Garcia?
I was about to say, Ben, you're his fucking biggest champion. You have been since day one, to be fair to you, mate. I'll give you that one as well. But it is, Ben, this has got to be the time for him. For me, this is like last chance saloon for him in this company, because how many...
No matter whose fault it is.
It's all, he's done it all though. He's had the comedy gimmick, he's had the serious wrestler gimmick, he's in this big storyline now with the group. We've done it all with him. He's, as you say there,
I think that's what I didn't like, like in the main event of Collision, like he was in, I think it was the main event, he was with Moxley, and he was like stood on the apron, and I was just like, this just feels like a retread of the Jericho stuff here. I'm worried about that. We need to have something a bit more interesting than that, I think they can pull it off, but some more times.
We'll see with that, but I mean, like that's that coffin match in itself tying into that. That's a big match that's been built and that's been obvious down
in
the
another
line.
universe. That's for the world title, innit? So if I'm screaming for if I give the credit of doing Kyle Fletcher and Hangman, that doesn't mean I can't also say that's not a big money match, because it isn't, because Kyle Fletcher's not in that position. That's the story they're telling. The story they're telling is Kyle Fletcher's not ready for that spot. I guess you've got to say Darby and Mox is that match, because in another universe it would be the world title match, wouldn't it? And a lot of people say that about Darby, that Darby should be the top guy. So I guess this is your big match, isn't it, for the show, really?
Yeah, this is it.
Unless it's Cope and Christian, I guess maybe it's that.
And to be fair, like, I'll still cling on to the MJF train, Ben. I think him and Briscoe, like, because I look at this card and the singles matches, and I'm turning into like one of you three guys here. I'm the multi-man match, but the singles matches look the most interesting to me, because you're getting to see a Briscoe in there with MJF finally paid this off. You're getting the Darby and Moxley in a gimmick match, which I like, a big sucker for a coffin match, obviously, with the Undertaker history. The main event I'm interested in, because I know, as I've said before, it's a challenge for Fletcher there to take the loss but stay over, etc. But it is, I looked at it because I didn't see the whole card until I had seen it last night, and you've confirmed it there.
There's a couple more matches than we got at FOW, but yeah.
It's a bit, once again, I'm not throwing the word lazy out there, but it is like a couple of four ways, like it's autopilot in a way. It is, to be fair, but once again, the singles matches I'm behind. The freeway, I'm gonna get a laugh out of that, because that literally is EWR stuff. I want to see that match for match quality, really, isn't it? That's what that's gonna be. But the four-way ladder match, I mean, it's gonna be. I'm still high the most on car crash ladder matches, but we've seen it a million times. The four-way for the women's title isn't doing a thing for me. Mercedes and Rio, challenger of the month. Rio hasn't got. It must be
good, that though. It will be good, that
5 million to 1 for the window. It's a bit too obvious, Ben. And I know, it's not the all end all, but it's a bit just too obvious there. And then what else have we got there? The Hate Syndicate match. Not really into that, but Cope and Christian. For the city that they're wrestling in, and they're going to go all out. The history with FTR in real life, for training with Cope when he was on the comeback for WWE and stuff like that. You're going to get a bit of story, a bit of emotion. Then I'm going to get to, and FTR, like, still are one of the best tag teams around, aren't they? So I think that'll deliver, and then so I'm really actually looking forward to that. Got a bit of goosebumps there, actually, thinking about that there, Ben, genuinely. So yeah, looking forward to that tag match, to be fair. Should be good.
Did I read something? Didn't Tekla versus Queen Aminata get added to this as well? Somebody tell me in the chat. I feel like I just got a notification.
Isn't that on Dynamite in an old?
Oh, that's
match?
a Dynamite match.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's what the tweet said.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Well,
Anyway.
but
There's a lot of gimmickry. Look at it. We've got a coffin match. We've got a table attacks match. We've got a lot of match on there. Yeah, it's a bit much already.
But I'm
okay,
fine for these pay-per-views, Ben. Like it's a bit of a mixed bag, bit of autopilot booking, bit of your serious, like your established versus your up and comers. Like with your Briscoe and your Fletchers and undercard more than up and comers. I like it though. I do think it's a good.
It'll be a better card, won't it? It'll be a better show.
I mean, I don't know about that, Ben. I don't know.
It will.
I don't.
I mean,
know.
You might never find out, but it will be.
No, I'm going to watch both on the night, and I'm going to be there all night. Like, I might even join in the Discord for once on Saturday Night Live. Do you
want to join in the podcast, mate? Open coffee, mate. You're always welcome. Shouldn't have told me that.
We'll see.
You're not allowed to watch wrestling without podcasting about it with me, mate. That's
I've heard about this.
You chose this life.
Yeah, I have. But no, it'll be, as you said before, it'll be structured so differently. And obviously, there will be a million miles an hour with AEW compared to WWE's slow maybe approach. But hopefully, I'm expecting, I've got hope for the WWE. Even though I think Cena and Lesnar will be awful, I'm willing to be proved so wrong by it at the same time. But with AEW, I've got a bit of...
not going to be good as anything on that card.
No, I've got a bit of intrigue. Not better than fucking the 6-man tag, no, with the Earth Syndicate. I mean, surely.
Honestly,
anyway, no.
Okay. Honestly, don't think so. I'll be honest. I'll give you my star ratings at the end of the weekend, Matty, and we'll go head to head with them, and we'll see if it does.
Yeah.
If it does any better than anything on this card. Honestly, I'm not confident, but yeah, strong. I said it on the Discord. Strong card from my personal interest point of view. At the end of the day, I'm sure Gareth will say it tomorrow. Isn't that all that matters? We're all gonna have a good time, so that's what we want this weekend. But I mean, on that note, just last couple of notes on the AWTV over the last while, and yeah, there you go. Got the graphic there. Queen Aminata and Thekla on Dynamite this week. That is part of the 3-hour Dynamite collision September to remember block coming up. Do you think we're gonna get a payoff to the fantastic story they're telling right now with the Acclaimed? I was literally, again, I told you, I've been full of cold the last couple of days, taking all kinds of meds. I thought I was having a fever dream. I was like, fucking hell, Billy Gunn's let himself go. No, wait, that's Jerry Lynn. Like, what are we doing? I couldn't, the Acclaimed are getting back together, and the part of Billy Gunn is being played by Jerry Lynn. If people don't watch Collision, this is genuinely the story that they're telling. Jerry Lynn is trying to play Peacemaker, trying to get them to scissor, trying to get them back together. I don't know. Well, somebody said he's got didn't he get a WWE action figure made this week or something like that? That got put out, and it got people conspiracy theory a little bit on it. There's been no reporting, but very clearly this is what's a good TV show where this happened? Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they changed the actor for the mum. It's something like that where they've just gone, rather than come up with some other way to get the Acclaim back together that gets them where they should be. They've just made Jerry Lynn play Billy Gunn and do all of the Billy Gunn bits where he's trying to make them make peace and getting in the ring with them and getting physical with Lee Johnson and whatever his name is. What on earth was I watching? I couldn't believe it. And again, it should be studied, this Acclaim run, because I was sick of them as a team by the end. But I always said it on this show. I went to so many live AEW shows where it was you know what, there's a disconnect there. The people like us roll their eyes at the Acclaim coming out, and then when AEW used to pack arenas, you'd see how many people in there fucking love the Acclaimed.
Homegrown actors.
If they'd merchandised them properly, and they did a bit towards the end of the run, but not the way they should have, they could have made so much money off the Acclaimed. They got stale way quicker than they should have. That was partly the booking. To be honest, it was partly Max Caster looking like he didn't want to be there for the end of the Acclaim's tag run. I don't even think that was storyline. I just think he was.
He wanted to be a singles, didn't he? You could tell.
Yeah, very clearly. Yeah. So that was terrible. And then he got made singles, and again, decent match with Takeshita aside. Bowens as a singles, clearly has just shown really bad instincts for it. I think maybe I'll ask Gareth about it tomorrow. What his temperature check is, because he was up for a singles Bowens run, but just because of you've got to, when wrestlers get themselves over, I always say it to you, don't I, Matty? You've got to respect that. You've got to applaud it. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. I'll even say it about Jey Uso. And when they got themselves over as a tag team, that gave them some credit in the bank for me. That it was all right, let's see what they can do as a singles. And Bowens has shown all of the fucking nicknames, the 5'2" player and all that stuff. Still knocking around with his dad, Billy Gunn. Now he's knocking around with his stepdad, Jerry Lynn. I don't know if it's a step up or not, but everything about it was terrible. You can have a good match with Takeshita on telly, mate. It's not going to prove the haters wrong because you're proving them right with how you presented yourself as a singles act. Caster has actually been quite entertaining, but in a non-money drawing way, as like this lower card heel.
He's a good TV wrestling character, isn't he, for me, Caster, what I've seen of him. You need them.
But everybody shares blame for them being in this situation. They do for the team getting stale. The booking does for the team getting stale. And it's unbelievable that the outcome is they've just gone, fuck it, let's just put them back together again, because clearly that's what we're doing with Jerry Lynn playing Billy Gunn. It's like, whole thing should be studied. Like, I can't see it going well. It's better. It's probably better than their singles run, but like, wow, that we're back to this point already. This is like, they've literally followed the New Age Outlaws career path, haven't they? You know, let's just put them back together again. We've tried singles Billy Gunn. All right, Road Dogg was hardcore champion for a bit. Fuck it, they're a team again, and now the heels.
Definitely, Ben. And, you know, that's the thing with splitting tag teams up. The eventuality it's always easy to get them back again. But how long's it been? I don't even know how long. If someone's going to say 2 years here at this point, I don't know how long it's been since they've actually been separated as a tag team.
Someone tell us in the chat, because I'll guess without looking.
I'll say a year. I'll say it's got to be at least one calendar year.
I'll take the under. I say 11 months.
Platt, let us know. You'll know.
Someone will have it.
But it's like, I mean, you're right though, Ben. It's the same trajectory as the Outlaws. Couldn't believe it until I seen it in our notes. Jerry Lynn with the I was like, what's going on? Like, you've nailed it all there, mate. I can't even add as much to that. But we will see eventually what happens. But will the...
It's going to end badly, innit? It might be the better bad than the bad they're currently in.
Yeah.
But like a gigantic mistake. No, it was this year. It was January 18th, 2025.
9 months, man. I thought it was at least 2 years ago, mate. Jesus Christ. Maybe Caster's had a little change of heart and like his
memory hole. It didn't happen. Yeah. Ewan said he'd rather watch Jimbo than Anthony Bones at this point. Jesus, very much look what you could have won, Simon said. Fucking hell, it was January? That's bad. Even I wasn't guessing that.
Outrageous.
Wild. Well, there we go. We'll see what happens with that. And like I say, 3-hour Dynamite collision with just added, or at least I just got the notification of it. We have Queen Aminata versus Tekla on that card. Fuck me, there's a lot here. It's funny they called it September, remember?
Matches, yeah.
But they've just left the ECW arena. This is in Canada. Like, what? Is the name still lying around? I've just realised that. Like, what? It's in London, Ontario, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Tony, whatever. He doesn't do good for your OCD, does he, Tony? Kind of times. Young Bucks versus Gun Club. We got it, which was built up on Collision. Luchasaurus, Skip Sabian versus Jeb Speed. Yeah, all qualifiers. Top Flight versus Josh Alexander and Hetch Zero. Tekla versus Queen Aminata. The Beast Mortos versus Masquerade Dorada. And we know Mortos is going over in that for the 3-way. Bobby Lashley versus Toa Leona. John Moxley versus Roderick Strong. FTR face-to-face with Cope and Christian. Tony Storm appearing. And Rio versus Robin Renegade.
I mean,
all in a 3-hour block.
That Moxley v Roddy Strong, Ben, what a sickos match that is, mate. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. I'll hear everyone say it's one of the greatest matches they've ever seen come tomorrow.
Roll my eyes. No. I saw Roddy and Kyle come out of Collision. I just rolled my eyes. Now it's like, lads. We've had our day in the sun.
Just fucking hell. But yeah, brilliant.
At least Roddy still tries. I'm not sure you can say the same of Kyle at this point. I love that. It's Billy Gunn like granddad, and he's been replaced by Jerry Lynner's Uncle Albert. Jerry Lynner's Uncle Albert, that works perfectly. Incredible. They are matches that are going to happen, as Simon says. And we'll be reviewing them on Thursday with JP back on the weekend show. Patreon.com/grapple if you want to join us live for that as well. But that's coming up. Some other quick AEW news notes as well to get into. And we are still shifting tickets, like I say. Might be losing out in the weekend stakes. I must go to JP then. There, Matty. But we do have...
talk the gate on the spotlight next week, Ben?
No, why does that matter to you? Is it your money?
I'm just asking.
Is it going to your GoFundMe?
Just a question for a podcast.
When did we start doing that in wrestling?
I'm just asking for a podcast we're doing, that's all. You know, steady on.
What's the podcast we're doing?
Spotlight next week. It's for our little podcast we're doing. Asking a question.
We'll see. We'll see if you're invited. We'll see what we can do. Well, anyway, positive news. Dynamite in Manchester. We are up past 7. I think it's up 6.7, and I think it's getting towards 7,000 now. And we can get up to 16,000 in Manchester. You thinking of going to the Manchester shows, mate? Is that in in the cards?
No, genuinely, I think that's a step too far, Ben, for this year. Genuinely, I need to shave me pennies where I can.
Do you agree with me when everyone was talking about it being the Christmas night out, and then slowly everybody realised, do we really want to have a night out on a Wednesday in Manchester?
It's far too close as well, yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't all add up. To be fair, there, yeah, you're right. But you know, it will do. Obviously, we'll do well over 10,000 come go time, and let's see if them Christmas Prezi tickets help shift them tickets, Ben, in there overall.
There you go. If anybody knows anyone in Matty's family's listening, you know, get them. That's all you want for Christmas, isn't it? AEW Dynamite tickets.
I mean,
Slash collision
that's all
tickets.
I've ever wanted for Christmas. That's all I've ever dreamt of since I was a little boy, Benno.
Apparently, I've just in looking this up. Apparently, the Cardiff and Manchester ticket links are broken on AEW's website. Probably fix that, lads, so that people can buy the fucking tickets to the show. Tin pot, unbelievable.
It'll probably be called December to Dismember or whatever you were calling stuff at this point.
Fed's got
Massacre on 34th Street. That's another one as well.
You'll find a way. Yeah, Mayhem in Manchester. Maybe that's not been copywritten. Maybe we could go with that. Who knows? But in other AEW news, obviously Dynamite had a pretty bad rating last week, as we talked about. Did tick up after last week, so maybe the talk of Dynamite's demise was maybe a little bit overblown, as we talked about last time out. And I still think there was something to it. It did feel a bit low rent in the ECW arena. I'm not going as far as you, Matty, and saying you could hear people ordering pints, but especially in Collision this weekend, where like it's wrestling, isn't it? I always hate this. Like, if a show is live, they don't fuck with the audio, do they? Or they don't edit, they just show it. When it's live to tape, just wrestling companies can't help themselves but have like tin pot noise to it and like SmackDown pops and all that. Like, it sounded even worse here because while you couldn't hear people ordering pints, like the echoey nature of the building just made all of that sound even worse and made it sound even more phony. And then when it was real cheers, it just sounded shit. And like, I was just sick of it. It was too indie for me. It was too, you couldn't hear ordering pints. Can I just say that again? But you could hear individual people trying to start chants. And instead of like in an arena, 10 people's trying to start a funny chant being ignored, 10 people starting a funny chant took over the show on all of these Dynamites and Collisions. And like, yeah, there are loads of positives to AEW running smaller venues, and they should. This wasn't a smaller venue that I think worked out, history aside. I did not enjoy it from the arena.
That's the thing, Ben. Even like, and all jokes aside and seriously, they should be running smaller venues to make it that atmospheric. But it's these residencies.
Did they?
Yeah, but they always last that 1 or 2 weeks. It's hard to get it consistently from start to finish with the residencies, which is hard. If you can do it like 1 or 2 weeks and move on, when you're getting 3 or 4 weeks, it genuinely is hard to keep that same atmosphere for 4 weeks, especially in the same building. It is a tough one, to be fair. So no, they'll figure things out and we move on, of course.
For sure. A lot of quick AW news, a lot of MJF news. This coming out today. Lucha Blog reporting, and I got the email from Triller as well. MJF's got a busy old week coming up because he's going to be on CML's 92nd anniversary this weekend on Friday, facing Mystico on that show, and it will be available to buy. Gareth, if you're out there, maybe I'll add this to the notes tomorrow to see if he buys it on his Triller account. But yeah, available in English commentary as well. For once, big CML show. Do you reckon you might give this a watch?
I watched that match for sure. Like, and I've seen MJF doing the rounds in the backstage promo with a Hammer on MLW. Bit of a.
I was going to mention that's the next news story. Glad you read the notes, mate. Thank you.
Bit of dynasty law, Ben. Like, honestly, I'd like to see it. Like, using as a star power, and that's a match that they obviously built up on AEW as well, didn't they? For a long time, this Mystical match. So, we'll actually genuinely in the day after we record might throw that match on as well. Saturday. So yeah. Good stuff. Still an MJF fan, Benno. I'm glad I met Paul as well. Sorry, I didn't put that over in London. Me and him are the only 2 MJF fans. Now, Paul Goose, legend. Like, what a guy. Genuinely, like, bonded over MJF fandom. So, well important.
I did think that Mystical match might be on an AEW show. But
yeah, I thought, yeah.
Show. And if it's on Triller and AEW have been promoting it, I think, yeah, you'll get more people than usual watching it. And yeah, I saw a Cubs fan being made up about it that there will actually be. I wonder what the English commentary will be. Any guesses? Like for CML? Who from it'll be someone. I think it'll be someone from AEW. They'll get on.
Riccaboni, maybe. I don't know.
Who's freelance? Who could you get that's not AEW related? Kevin Kelly probably wouldn't do that.
No, probably wouldn't do that at all.
Who could they get?
Don't know, Ben. Actually, genuinely don't know.
Could be the New Japan team, not Chris Charlton, obviously.
Yeah.
The other one.
We'll see. We'll find out.
Joe Gilbert's look-alike.
Yeah.
outside that, maybe usually like, roles like this isn't like is Todd Grisham still available? Those types of guys.
He's too big time with the ESPN.
Matt Striker.
Yeah, Striker could be a shout, Benno. He's MLW still last time I heard. I don't know if he's still there. I don't know if he's still there, mate.
Let's hope it's someone from AEW instead, Excalibur or something. Or like I say, Riccaboni would be a good shout. But as you mentioned there, obviously MJF was on MLW over the weekend. I just assumed it was a pre-tape, but he was actually at the show, wasn't he? Just doesn't want to take his fucking honeymoon, does he? But yeah, he was in a backstage. It wasn't a pre-tape, a backstage live segment with Hammerstone, putting him over and putting over the Dynasty. I still think I would have brought Dynasty in at AEW Dynasty this year, and I just think it would have been a match made in heaven. But hey ho, maybe it'll come. What's happened to the other one? The one who used to wear the Apple earpiece. What was his name?
Richard Holiday.
Yeah. Whatever happened to him?
I think he's still knocking about, Ben, in the Indies.
You're going to tell me he signed for NXT, aren't you? And he's on NXT every week, and I've just not noticed.
No, he's not. He's definitely not. He's definitely. I was just picturing them Doomsday Destroyers that Teddy Hart used to give MJF, mate, and then the 6-man tags. That's all I can picture when I think of MJF and MLW. Just outrageous stuff. Don't need for them, but yeah, it is.
I mean, MLW is like a joke promotion around these parts, isn't it? Because like it's just for whatever reason, JP finds interesting, putting them over, but I think burying them at the same time. I think he's got MLW podcast gig. Maybe it'll happen for him someday. But like, there could be something there with an AEW relationship. It could give guys reps. I guess they've already got ROH to do that with, haven't they? But you could see it fitting in. Maybe also though as well, like to trust Court Bauer not to book Gobshite of the week. He does book some ropey people on those shows. So maybe not the party you want.
But I like that though, like for someone who like obviously his character portrays and projects like such like thing. MJF, like it's nice that he's going back to his roots there. I like that. I love all the long term like stories and such like that. So I'm all for that and what it leads to if it gets that light and firing hammer because he did attack the champion at the end and he gets his belt back and stuff like that. We're off to the races with him. So it's a good little way of paying back as well to his roots, MJF. So all for that, Ben. Love that.
Well, there you go. Our finally story, and if you've got it up, mate, I'll put this in just for you from an AEW point of view. As AEW honoured Eddie Gilbert.
You're trying to get me so much tonight to speak so positively of AEW, and you've succeeded. You've succeeded.
Sting, Doug Gilbert, Tommy Rich was there as well. Jeff Jarrett as well. This coming at the end of the taping at the arena, wasn't it? They brought Sting out in person at the end of Collision there to put over Eddie, put over Tony Khan, putting over the entire family in there as well. And obviously, nice moment there. And obviously, Tony Khan. You got to say it, mate. He is a studier of history.
He is.
He's a proper fan, isn't he? At the end of the day, and like these are people who could you imagine WWE putting over Eddie Gilbert? Like they're not
a chance. Not a chance.
There just wouldn't be a scenario where that happens, and they wouldn't think of bringing a Sting out and getting him involved and knowing the history there. That's where being a wrestling geek like Tony Khan is. Yeah, it all makes sense. I'd even like say having Jeff out there as well. Of course, Jeff's going to be out there, but even with the history, you got to love it.
Oh no, he is. I'll never. It's like Meltzer in a way, Ben. Like I might disagree with him, but like what a like historian, and at the same time, the same with Khan. Like I mightn't love everything he does, but you can't deny he's a fucking loves wrestling. At the end of the day, like we all do. We all like different aspects from wrestling, but he fucking lives for it, doesn't he? So never gonna throw some negative shade at him that way. And it's good to see a company honor it. Like personally, like love
this
is
like wrestling history that matters, isn't it? Like this is wrestling history WWE don't tell you.
The Sting being like Sting being there of like it's great. What a touch that is, like from obviously Eddie with him in Mid-South and stuff like that. It just UWF brilliant stuff. Honestly, I love that. Like and yeah, we'll check it out in full. Like and as I say, hats off to Tony Khan for acknowledging the real ones, Ben. The real ones.
I'm in the mood now, mate. Are we going to do an Eddie Gilbert mixtape or something coming up?
But that's me shout. Once again, been speaking, Hamlet's getting a lot of shout outs. And he's the epitome for me, though, Gilbert. Like, I know we always have jokes of like top 5 matches. Some wrestlers aren't that, though. You know what I mean? And he's the epitome of that to me, Gilbert. Like, he's a solid enough wrestler in there and can give you the big match, etc. But it's just different. It's shifted so much to work rate these days. He's not that. It's the angles and the character work is just such on a different level to what obviously the flip side that wrestlers don't have these days. It's such a hard split. But yeah, love Calm, fair play to him for that one, mate. And yeah, let's get back to bashing AEW next week, then. Or you know what it is. I love it.
Well, this is where I did have the AAA show, but it counts under WWE now, so we pretty much covered it. I presume you didn't watch MLW Fightland in reference, and that
Nope.
I'm certain JP didn't either, especially with him not being on this week. Not to break his gimmick, but no chance. Noah's M1 victory. I doubt you've watched this week.
Unfortunately, not.
Vegeta lost his first match, mate. I'm not breaking big news for you.
No, unfortunately not. I mean, not up with me.
Did JP watch that? That's the question.
I reckon he would have watched that. I'm giving him it there. I reckon he would have snuck that in somewhere, but definitely would have.
Kento Miyahara became a 3-time winner of All Japan's is it Udo tournament? This is where we need JP.
Yes.
This weekend. That was another news story. I'll chat with JP about this week as well. But outside of that, yeah, not a huge amount of other stuff going on along the wrestling world. There was an update on Jerry Lawler. I have news-wise in here. Obviously, he had his stroke, didn't he? Apparently, he hadn't taken his medication for a few days before it. I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen.
I mean, he's had a few health issues the last few years, hasn't he, the King? Like, he's still hanging on in there, like, but, yeah, he's take that medication, you know, I mean, going through it myself at the minute, like, I'm feeling a bit ropey just being told I can stay off my medication, so when you've got to stay on it, you know, bloody hell, yeah.
There we go, and yeah, the only other news story I did throw in just as an I'm finally proper last story of the show, mate. Obviously, we mentioned it a bit on the pre-show, but obviously Ricky Hatton's death was fresh news to us on Sunday, and obviously since then there's been plenty of tributes out there. I like obviously them doing the tributes at the City game, even a tear in Pep's eye, wasn't there? And obviously the Gallagher's coming out and talking about him as well. Obviously not a wrestling related story, but some fits in that world, doesn't it? With Ricky Hatton.
But he was a former
nickname, obviously. Yeah, WWE house shows.
Former guest host of Monday Night Raw, Benno, when he knocked Chavo Guerrero out. He
did. Did he?
Of course he did. He knocked Chavo Guerrero out. That's why I love him even more, because he battered Chavo. Loved it. Like, yeah.
Got no recollection.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he guest hosted him. No, but even that aside, then just genuinely, like, honestly, like, any, like, and I'm not the biggest boxing fan, but I like my mate Joey, who, you know, Joey, like, lives for boxing, and you just couldn't help but get swept up in, like, this was, I said this on the pre-show, like, Atom was taking 20,000 fans over to Vegas before it was the cool gimmick thing to do now with, like, your Joshua's and your other British fighters. Like, they were genuinely going out to support him. He was organically liked and loved and had that fan base because he was a normal guy who was just happened to be, like, obviously a great boxer as well. And, you know, I haven't seen that documentary that JP and everyone raves on about the Hatton one, but, you know, I know he struggled with his mental health in later years after retiring because he thought like he didn't do nothing. He beat Costa Zoo. He was a world champion. He got mega fights with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Like, he didn't win, but he was in there with two of the greatest boxers of all time. That's no disservice. Like, what a guy! Like, genuinely, anytime you've seen him, and, you know, I mentioned the struggles he had after retiring, but just what a normal, organically, like, lovely guy he seemed. And I met him, you know, in a nightclub in Liverpool a few years back, and he told all his bodyguards to get away from me and let me speak to him. Like, honestly, just a genuine guy. Like, so really good. And when I got that, I was at that games market on Sunday, and I had my data off and switched it on for something, and just seeing that come through, and I just didn't want to look at it. It just gutted me. Like, it was really fucking sad. Like, so may you rest in peace. And yeah, it's very, very sad.
I'll have to watch the documentary. I can't believe this. Like, apparently, someone's in the chat there. The vault
is
up there with him and Chavo. I've never seen this before. Like, coming out in questionable clothing there. I can't play the video, obviously, with the copyright gods not shining on us there. Like his wrestling gear, the shorts there with the gloves. Jesus, what year was this?
It might have been 9 or 10, one of them. It was obviously in Manny Arena as well, so it's it ties in. Of course.
I knew he'd done house show stuff, but I did not know that was a thing.
There's a picture though as well, Ben. I'll have to dig it out. There's a picture from when he was like in his pom pattern, like 07. And there's a picture with Batista and Taker when he's training, and honestly, he looks like a small child. Like, they're just giants. No, genuinely, they are. He looks like a small kid. It's one of the great. I used to have it on my old laptop saved. They're just towering over him, but he's loving it. You know what I mean? Holding their hands. It's just a great picture. And that's
amazing. He's got a cage match profile as well.
Yeah.
Me and Ricky Hatton have got cage match profiles. There you go. I'll take that.
But yeah, it's like just what a guy as well. And he was come across, like, as he mentioned, as the struggles he had, but when he was on, he was a nice, funny guy as well, and just honestly,
I said to you, our Peter, like had that same story everyone does. Like saw him in the bar, bought him a pint, and it was like an honour for our Peter rather than an honour for for Ricky. Like because he gets 10 blokes a day, doesn't he? Doing the same thing there as well. He just proper class working class bloke, isn't he? And really sad one to see there. But Sheffield Arena, November 2009.
Oh, was it Sheffield? Was it? Okay.
A tough place. Sad one, but there you go. A sad and finally one, but definitely had to be mentioned on the main show there. But yeah, anything else, Matty? Anything else you've been watching? Anything else you wanted to mention before we get out of here? Any messages for Gareth on the live tomorrow? You've laid down the gauntlet for this gigantic week of coverage we've
Well, I love Gareth, and I'm going to see him for a pint on Friday in person. But I heard him say,
it's fine.
I mean,
I'll still pull that card even though it's many miles away.
But it's
still
like
insulted. Could have invited me. Would have been nice. The opportunity to say no, but
Gareth is, I already said now. I like to think I'm the bigger man this week watching both pay-per-views where Gareth's flat out refused to watch WrestlePalooza. So I like to think I'm the bigger man.
He has to be fair, yeah. Did you notice the way I gave you grief and not him grief?
Of course. I'm used to it then by now. Well, I suppose, and all that, but
Yeah, it has Gareth's respect as well, what am I?
But yeah, he will. I'll just say I'm looking forward to listening to you and Gareth talk all things more all out come tomorrow. We'll be listening to it, maybe on delay on Thursday on my commute to work. But let's see what he's got to offer to sell me on the pay-per-view even more. Even though I'm going to watch it, let him give me the hype for it this coming weekend.
Well, if you know our Gareth, he'll be slamming in every collision he's missed, every dynamite he's missed, just ready for the live tomorrow.
Also, we'll say is I'm just glad Willow Nightingale is not on this card, and that's just for Gareth to let it sit in his mind. That one.
I'll pass the message on there tomorrow, mate. But we should throw some plugs in. Obviously, we've got plenty coming up, and plenty has happened already. It's been a hell of a dealer's choice month so far, mate, and it's still plenty more to come where that came from.
Of course, like as I say, we started off with the easing in, shall I say, of my choice of Survivor Series 2002. Won't be easing in that much in February. I can guarantee that. Then return of the big playlist coming in dealer's choice in February. But yeah, we had Survivor Series 2002 as my pick. We had eaten our greens in salad and veg in every way, shape or form we can think of, with Gareth's choice of Ric Flair, wrestler of the 80s, just this past weekend.
JP running there.
Yeah, we've got JP. His choice is his perfect choice, suits JP down to the ground, of The Wrestler, the movie with Mickey Rourke, coming up this weekend, this Saturday. Remember, Ben, we're going to record that. Our free pre-show time, I think we've agreed. It's going to be after the Merseyside derby, before all your double bill of wrestling kicks off Saturday night. And then you will take us out of the month and take us out of Dealer's Choice month with your yet-to-be-determined choice coming up at the end of the month there, Ben. So you've got more time to narrow it down and decide on one, mate. And I'm looking forward. Hopefully it'll be a good end to the month, mate, when you decide.
I'm just laughing at myself. I'm throwing the YouTube up for the video viewers. Hey, look how miserable I looked on that Ric Flair show. I had a great time. I really did. I felt bad. Honestly, I just felt guilty that I had to say the things I had to say and slay that sacred cow. But Gareth knew what he signed up for when he did it, and it just makes me, like you say, want to be more careful about what my pick will be when we need to update that banner there when we get to it as well. And obviously we had the Gareth Hodgson pre-show, we had the Matty Edwards pre-show, we had the JP pre-show this weekend as we look at The Wrestler, and of course we'll have the Richard Benson pre-show to close out the month as well.
In the best way possible, Ben. It scares me but excites me at the same time. The JP pre-show, it fills me with so much fucking. We could be talking about fucking anything, and I cannot wait for it.
Should we just do like 30 minutes on mute and just for a bit?
It could get dark very early, Benno, is what I'm saying. And I go, listen, JP, let's get it dark on your pre-show this week, mate. I love it.
Simon there, haunted Benno, making us. I'll never be as haunted as I was during the Urban Wrestling Federation. I was just hungover, I've got to be honest. You carried me through that one. I was very confused by the end of it, but I think most people were watching the Urban Wrestling Federation homework. So Simon achieved his goal. So definitely check that out if you want to see the worst of
listen, Ben,
Benno on that.
And we don't give ourselves enough credit. We cover every aspect of wrestling, Benno.
It's true, that.
Simon's choice, we literally do any type of wrestling. We're there, give our thoughts. Anything we do, love it. Absolutely fucking love it.
There you go. That's available as well. Patreon.com/grapple. And as you can see there on the screen, youtube.com/@grapple. And yeah, you can see me looking into darkness, my old friend during that one as well there with Simon. So do check that out as well. But
You do look a bit
where that came from.
I didn't notice that when we recorded it.
It's the booze. That's all I'm saying. I'm a professional podcaster. But yeah, you can get it all. And yeah, thank you, Simon. I always love having Simon on.
Of course, Simon.
Glad you had a good time.
Legend.
Well. But there you go. Yeah, we'll get the Bullseye theme ready for JP's show, and of course, Retro coming up as well, Matty.
Next week, yes. Sorry, we are. Yeah, we had plans to do. Just keep everyone updated. We had plans to do this week. Obviously, the Audible's been called with the big WrestlePalooza / All Out week. So definitely next week we will be recording Brett. So it will be coming on your feeds, definitely.
There you go. And one last call. Get to Matty's donation page.
Yes, thank you.
Matty Edwards on Google. Matty Edwards Diabetes just feels wrong, but it does come up. It does bring the page up. But we'll throw the link in. And obviously, all jokes aside, a great cause, and very proud of you, mate. You're doing brilliantly.
Thank you very much. As I say, thank you to everyone who's donated. If we can get any even more so donated by the end of the month, I will be truly thankful. Honestly, thank you so much.
Great stuff. There we go. So, yep, thank you as always for everyone tuning in. Like I say, back tomorrow for the GRAPPL Live, free for all on the YouTube with me and GRAPPL Gareth, and then back with JP on Thursday. 3 days of shows covering this entire weekend, whatever else it throws at us as well. So, yeah, check that out. But other than that, thank you to our patrons who've tuned in live with us tonight. And as always, thank you to our kings and queen of the mountain, Conor Laughlin, Eddie Sideburns, Chris Platt, Carl Gack, Sophia Hitchcock, Sam Mulvaney, and Marty Ellis. We will catch you again tomorrow on the live.
Ta-da.
Good night, all. Have a great evening. Feel energized now. There we go.